It's Rita. She's escaped and she's attacking the planet.
Ay, what do we do?
Teleport to us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No, not that, not teenagers.
Power Rangers are next.
Welcome, everybody. We are talking Power Rangers today, and I've got an awesome guest, DJ Scandalous. How's it going, dude?
What up? Going good.
Awesome day. We'll be having Christy Miller join us shortly when she gets done with whatever she's doing. And yeah, we are finally talking Power Rangers. I think we worked on trying to do this for like 3 months now. I feel like it's been difficult to set up a date. I usually work on Saturdays around this time, but I was able to get the time off. So hell yeah. And next week, it's funny, I didn't know this. We just found out our store is getting a remodel, so I'll have a whole nother week off basically. So
I'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll have more time to set up these streams. Oh yeah, but we are talking Power Rangers today, everybody. But before that, for people that don't know that much about you, man, if you want to introduce yourself, say what you are, say if you got a channel you want to plug or Twitter you want to plug or something, go ahead, man.
Sure, I'm DJ Scandalous. I mostly do hip hop news and remixes of rappers from the '90s. That's really it,
Hell yeah, 600K and climbing, buddy. That's awesome. But yeah,
10 years for that though.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so Power Rangers. When did you start getting into Power Rangers, man? What's your history? Just going back to when you were a kid with that.
Yeah, I think I was like 5 in '93 when I first started Power Rangers, and it would always come on before I would go to kindergarten class, probably like 6:30 in the morning around then. So that's how I got interested in Power Rangers back then.
Hell yeah. Mine's kind of similar, but I was a couple years behind. I was pretty much born when they were released, so I had a couple years behind me on that. But yeah, same thing. They play the episodes in the morning, but I only caught the from Mighty Morphin. I only caught the Green with Evil series, that little part, and then kind of skipped around episodes within Zeo. And then unfortunately, Turbo was technically like the first full season I watched. And I know that's atrocious. I know, but it's
it is.
but it went into In Space, and that was good. And then Galaxy, and so on from there. So it went upward, didn't go downward entirely. Anyway, some seasons, they do go down, but
Yeah, early on when they had the Power Rangers intro, eventually when Tommy was introduced, they would do reruns and stuff. And whenever Tommy wasn't in the intro, I would get depressed and pissed off. When he was doing a little roundhouse kick, I was like, oh, that's gonna be one of those crappy episodes before he's even in it.
Yeah. His roundhouse kick was pretty legend, I'd say.
Yeah.
With that. Yeah, Black Angus is here. He says, I'm here for support. Thanks, buddy. He never watched Power Rangers, I don't think. We got Sam Snoswell. Says, I can't wait for Power Rangers season 28. Oh, they're on 28 now. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe it's still on the air.
Are they counting the mega, the super seasons that they have now? There's they'll have the normal season of a show,
and
then the super.
There's like a super Dino Charge and stuff too, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Does that count, or do they lump them into one?
When I checked online, it counted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really looked into the latest ones too much. I was tempted to look into Beast Morphers, but it's like I just don't really have time to sit, and it is kind of hard to watch some of them now. I mean, especially the ones that are made now are like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. I tried to watch the first episode of Beast Morphers, and it was okay. They referenced Rita for a sec. They're like, hey, we've had the powers ever since Rita and to whomever and Gooblar and Booby Blah. They've been trying to get their hands on these powers, and you just made it into a tube. Like, so they just have the power in a tube now.
Yeah, when I got rid of Lord Zed and it was peace and happiness all over the universe, how the hell did they bring back evil and everything? You remember that episode?
Yeah, I think we'll get to that in a second. I think that's the good one to go to.
All of a sudden, there's bad guys again.
Yeah, I feel like it makes sense in a way with what they did with that, but let's start a little bit earlier for some people that aren't as familiar a little bit. So I'm trying to learn more stuff about Power Rangers because it's just kind of funny. It's one of those things like with film and with everything, you learn how they get made and how they make them, and everybody pretty much knows that when they made the American Power Rangers, they kind of just picked a random season from Super Sentai and that they thought could gravitate enough to kids. Like kids like dinosaurs, right? Why not have that be the first one that they start with, and try to see what they can.
Because Jurassic Park was out in '93 around that time.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. That's a good point. But so they would try to take the footage from there and use American footage here and there. And I heard like when they're filming, they didn't have the putties in front of them, so like the actors Jason David Frank and now everybody Amy Jo Johnson were just like reacting to nothing. That's there.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so when they're in the park fight scenes and stuff, when they're doing those and there's putties that appear, they're like, "Oh no, what are we doing?" Okay, like that's partially because they're kid actors that don't know what they're looking at yet, really. So that's kind of in post. And I'm not sure how they do their choreography exactly. Like if they all did all the choreography or had stunt people snuck in there.
I remember watching one interview where it was the Green Ranger versus the White Ranger, right? I think you remember that?
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But then you had that weird witch go back in the past, like and get like an ancestor of Tommy, and you had these big rats running around.
Oh my god, the rat episode, yeah.
The actors that were played as the rats, they were completely blind during the whole thing, and they were just stumbling around. They could shit during that whole like film session.
Yeah, the filming of Power Rangers is funny as hell. Thinking about it and what they're going through with it. And that's one of the things that's funny too. So I'm wondering, like in the Japanese versions, in the Sentai, like did they have the rat people too, going back in time doing this?
I don't know.
Story. I doubt it.
That part.
Yeah, it took a while for me to understand, but it's like, did you know that like Lord Zed was a full 100% American creation?
No, I didn't know that, but he does look better.
Okay, so this is one of the things. So they were the people that were making Power Rangers for America were kind of worried that if they changed the costumes and stuff, that kids wouldn't understand that it's the same show just with different cast or something, different people. So they decided to keep the same cast, keep the same costumes, but swap up the villain because they were running out of footage to use from Rita from the Sentai show.
Yeah.
So they introduced Lord Zed, and that was an American creation completely. And then with Rita, there's one episode where she's like in a mirror with her mask or her like doing makeup or the guacamole face, basically. And she's like, "Oh, I used a youth thing to make me look younger." And then if you notice, the look of Rita is different in the season 2 and 3 of Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, because actress though, I think, right?
That's what I'm saying. They used they put like guacamole on the face, and then from then on, they never used the Rita footage from Japan. They had swapped the actress so they could still use their own Rita, use Lord Zed, use their own thing, and make their own whole thing out of this, basically. And like Rito, I think that's a completely American one too, because he's kind of what kicks off season 3 when they have the bird things, the cock-a-doodle-doos or whatever they're called. I don't remember, what were those called? The bird.
I don't remember.
They were in the movie too.
Oh yeah, they were horrible in that movie.
How were they called? Tangas. Tangas. That's what they were.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But I don't know. So and they. Okay, I guess since we're kind of right there, I forgot what I was even talking about with this really. But yeah, so they used American stuff to try to do it, and they started shooting scenes instead of the ones that were like in the canyons. Usually, they started to have them in like neighborhoods. That's because those were American shot. They got actors to do the shots in like towns, so they can do that and be different. And fun fact too, Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver. He was not supposed to be in the show that long. He was supposed to be in it for like 10 episodes.
Yeah, I read about that too.
He's supposed to be in the Green with Evil and a few more, and then get his powers taken away, and he's done. And that was going to be it. And then he went over to, he was going to be in another show called Cybertron. but it wasn't going to be Transformers. It turned into VR Troopers. Basically, they scrapped the pilot for the one that they shot with him and went a different route with it. And then but people loved Tommy Oliver. They loved the character. They loved the Green Ranger. They loved
VR Troopers, but I just wasn't into it like Power Rangers.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get into.
But I remember McDonald's had the little Pogs. Do you remember Pogs and everything? You collect them with the Power Rangers and.
Oh. No, I don't remember those ones.
You have to Google it. It's kind of hard to say. Okay. It's like little round coins, you collect and you can like slam on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
And you can get all the characters and they had the Power Rangers.
I might remember those. I might. Vaguely. Very vaguely. But, I wasn't going to say. I don't know. There's with Tommy. So they brought him back, and in the normal Sentai show with the White Ranger, I don't even know if they had the White Ranger in that show, to be honest.
The White Ranger wasn't even associated with Green Ranger, right?
I think that was supposed to be a different Ranger altogether, a different character introduced. But then, no, just have that be Tommy. And that's one of the first signs of they're really taking our story way different than the Sentai story.
But I kind of like that because it gave the illusion it might be Zordon. I mean, Zordon's power coin that they used to make the White Ranger.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's what I'm saying. I think that the way that America took the show in their different path was a good move, and I like how they keep this connecting thread throughout as to where I don't know how disconnected it is in the Sentai one, where it's just it's done this season, we're going on the next one. Done with the season, go on to the next one. And it's just always a team up. And it's but I mean, was there anything else with this to go on here? I kind of wish that they continued the passing torch thing from before, with the first 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever seasons of Power Rangers until Zordon era, basically. Because then after that, they don't really pass the torch on as much. They only sometimes have a different Ranger or an ex-Ranger become a new one in the future episode, kind of, where they briefly come back.
But I think it's kind of good because then you try to carry over that fan base of those previous seasons. You just don't want to include everybody.
Yeah,
I didn't like the new Power Rangers when they made Rocky the Red Ranger. I didn't really like that.
Yeah, but do you know why they did that though?
Yeah, because Jason had a contract dispute, I believe, right?
Yeah, the actor, there's something with his contract, and there's lots of horrible dubs.
He kind of regrets it now, though.
Yeah, which I bet. But I mean, it makes sense for the time that he's young and doing that stuff. I mean, how could he expect to see this show grow?
He paid like $7 an hour. That's awful for someone on TV, and had high ratings.
Well, and he was in good shape for the show for this. I mean, it's one thing to have the guys in the suit do it, but as the characters in the human form, he was in good shape. He was like one of the real martial artists on set, other than Jason David Frank. I don't know if the other ones were really martial artists in any way, but those two.
Jason said he actually had 5 tryouts, and he actually had to fight the instructors and stuff, and actually do well against them, to even get the role. It wasn't like you just go in there and say a couple lines. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, no, it was hard work for them.
Yeah,
I think. But I was gonna say, so let's transition into the first Power Rangers movie, if you want. That's that was after season 2 of Power Rangers, and they were gonna try to have a movie to get people more hooked into season 3 and into the ninja area of the Mighty Morphin thing. And this one has a lot of mixed opinions from people. It's very mixed. What are your thoughts on the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie? Initial thoughts.
I know Christy, we did stream the other night, and she showed me her little Ivan Ooze action figure, and I said, I don't really like Ivan Ooze. And her heart broke instantly.
Oh no.
I like him, but he just stands around and does nothing,
He's a horrible villain, but he's awesome. If he could have done actual stuff.
Maybe not as good as Lord Zed's, but he's just a stand-in villain, He doesn't fight, he doesn't do nothing.
He's literally a villain of the week in a way. I think they wanted him to be like Nukas from Beetleborgs, where it's he's summoned by the previous master of the evil people and whatever, and then he kind of tricks them into getting themselves destroyed, and then he just takes over. They kind of tried to do that with Ivan Ooze as well, but just it didn't make any sense with this. He shrinks them into a little ball, and oh no, the Rangers! And then there's a pig thing introduced that was never in the show and was ridiculous design for a villain. You know, considering how ridiculous they get in Power Rangers, a pig thing. I mean, they already had a pig thing before. And that was, you know, a one-time thing. Goldar is nerfed all the time, which is kind of annoying.
I love Goldar, you know.
I loved him in the first, you know, season and then somewhat in season 2. But, I mean, they nerf him down to just being this guy who can't complete any mission.
Yeah, and then he was really comedic relief with Rita and Lord Zed.
Yeah, and then when in Zeo, they're literally maids to Bulk and Skull, which is you know, I guess that's funny, but it's still just like, come on, guys. Like, this was the Warrior, and you're Luke Skywalkering him in The Last Jedi here with the Goldar, even though it's not the same status. But it's like,
I love the potential of the movie, like, because they were trying to get mainstream exposure, but the only thing is you didn't really tie in Ivan Ooze into the seasons either. So it was kind of
no, they completely scrapped him and scrapped that from continuity because they're like, that didn't do well, so let's just do it more. I think that Ninjor and all that stuff was more based on the Sentai stuff. I think I actually don't know. I don't know if Ninjor was a American creation or
the whole Power Rangers ninjas in the movie and the season.
What was that?
Did you like that?
With what?
When they were dressed up as ninjas and stuff. You know, Tommy and that in the movie, and then during the season.
I mean, like, it was fine, I guess, but I didn't really care. I mean, to me, it was an okay change of pace, I suppose, but I didn't really get the sense that they were more powerful in any way. It was like I kind of believed it more. Yeah, I'm like, you get what? You just get clothes on, and then they like have the shots where they're not wearing a mask, and then it just poofs on. Like,
yeah,
that makes you like, now you're powered up more. I don't know. That was kind of
like lasers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, their Zords were okay, but the CGI Zord was awful in the movie. Then they tried to do CGI for their Zords. It's like, no, just dress them up in people with models, and that's how you gotta do it, pretty much, to look not as awful.
Which Zord was your favorite, like, in the first couple seasons in the movie?
Oof.
Mine's the Dragon Zord because it's like Godzilla.
I mean, I feel like that's
crutches it.
I feel like we have to exclude him because he's
it's kind of
the coolest. Like, you know, they make him he's freaking Godzilla. You know, he's basically Mecha Godzilla, basically, just you know, but more badass in this sense.
Jason's Zord was cool, but it looked like it can just fall over at any time.
The T-Rex or the
T-Rex?
The T-Rex. He had the Thunder one too, which was the dragon, which they didn't really utilize those ones very much with the Thunder Zords. I don't know. Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Sabretooth, Triceratops.
Power Rangers game, you would have to go through so many levels just to play as the Zords.
You know, to be honest, I didn't really think too much of the original, like, individual Zords, though I did love the original Megazord design with the Mighty Morphin. That one was one of their best, I think. You know, just looks like, you know, just mecha machine. Boom.
Yeah, Power Sword was kind of cool, you know.
Yeah, but I liked how they emphasized their weapons whenever they'd use them. And I don't know, did they?
Their laser guns never really killed anybody.
No, never. No, but what do you think when they started to always combine the Megazords, like, you know, Dragon Zord with this Zord, and they have the whatever white Zord cannon thing that comes with them and the turtle,
like, and really crazy. Like, even when the Gold Ranger had that big giant pyramid, and like all of them would just fit inside of it.
They did the same thing in Dino Thunder with the Black Ranger with Tommy. That he had like the Para Zord. It's just this huge thing that like houses the other Zords, and it's like, really, that's his one. I mean, you couldn't do another Dragon Zord or nothing. Like, but you know, they did that just for toys, right?
Yeah.
See, I learned that later.
For the Dragon Zord and the flute, and that's something I could never find, and my parents would never get me. But I did have the Tiger Zord, where you could like change his arms and stuff and make it straight up and everything.
Right.
Yeah,
those were good. The the Dragon Zord's flute thing. You know that the song that they play with it. The
I wanted that so bad, but I could never even like play that. Like, we had third grade, and when we played a recorder, I couldn't play shit.
No, I'm saying that's an actual. There's like a full song to it. There's a full song for the Dragon Zord. It's like dun 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 dun.
Press the button and he'll talk and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Did you have the flippy head ones?
Oh yeah, I had that. And then we would go on a trampoline and play Power Rangers and
same here, man. My brother and I, we had trampoline in the backyard.
Yeah.
Pretend we're going
wrestling.
Yes. Trampolines were the best for Power
Mhm.
Rangers. I'm surprised they didn't sell Power Ranger trampolines, to be honest. Like some type of attachments of Power Ranger things that would have sold.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
Well, you remember they had moon shoes back then. You remember moon shoes? It was like trampolines that you put on your shoes and you can like jump. You don't remember that? You got to Google that too.
I feel like they mentioned that on like an episode of Arthur, but I didn't think they actually made those.
Oh yeah, they're real.
Like, okay, that's funny. Yeah, I think I missed that area. I guess I don't remember those. That's funny, but so yeah, Mighty Morphin with the ninjas. What was your favorite Zord other than Dragon Zord? See, that's a hard one because like the first 3 seasons where they switched the Zords from.
Yeah, I'm kind of biased because I was so little the first 3 seasons. You know, that's always gonna be my favorite. You know.
You see, I'm different. See, I saw those ones first too. Technically, like the turbo ones. I mean, I guess I saw them first, but they're just cars. I don't really care about those. But you know, those ones, the Mighty Morphin, they're cool animals, I guess. But nothing about them stood out individually, and they didn't really do much with them individually. As to where like later in a lot of the other seasons, for like Galaxy, for example, or with the Galactabeast, or there's the Wild Force season, or there's there's more of a connection with the Zords, more things happen with them. You can pick favorites with that. With these other ones, they're just tools to get the job done, and not really anything else. So I don't know, hard to pick them, I'd say. And then they just make bigger versions of Power Rangers, basically.
Yeah, I remember that. They'll supersize them like Goldar. Remember?
Yes. Those are pretty funny. You think those would be more effective, but it's like, no. I'm wondering when they had the pterodactyl Zord, like how often would that actually be able to be useful?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I was saying, the T-Rex looks like it just fall over. You know, Saber-tooth Tiger one didn't do really nothing. It's just really Tommy's Zord that was the main focus, I think, in the Megazord.
This is the only one that could hold its own. Like. And that was cool. Like on its own, just like just send the Dragon Zord. I guess the Tiger Zord.
I would say Jason's Zord because I was a Jurassic Park fan back then too. So
yeah, I mean, I guess the Tiger Zord in Megazord mode was all right. Like
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
that one was all right. I guess
kind of stuff. Oh, and I think the Dragon Zord combined with the Megazord one time or something, right?
It combined with the original Megazord. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. That's cool. It's Dragon Zord and fighting mode was what they called that, I think. I remember specifically Dragon Zord and fighting mode. It is really cool. Watch it, guys. Buy it next week. Type of thing. Oh yeah, Justin has to be the worst Ranger. We're getting there, Sir Camland. We're getting there.
Tommy had his own moments, such as when the powers of the Green Ranger were being drained to the point where Zordon tried to recharge him and nearly killed him.
Yep, I remember that. That was when all the other Rangers had their powers taken, I think, with the candles, and then they brought him back. See, one thing I think would have been better to make Tommy a better character in the Mighty Morphin run was that, like, after he became the Green Ranger and then became good and then lost his powers for a while, he kind of just screws off until they bring him back later.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I kind of thought that
he couldn't really do nothing, You just want to throw a teenager out there fighting supernatural putties, even though they sucked,
but I mean, the fact that he was tested by having putties attack him more than once in just his normal form without any powers, and he was able to beat them. So, like, he technically can do some good, at least in that sense. And, maybe outsmarting the opponent or something. Like, I would have thought he would somewhat try to stick around, or at least if there's danger, he'd at least kind of maybe try to go to it to see if he can help out.
When Billy couldn't do nothing, he was basically an alpha, Alpha's assistant.
Well, yeah, but he did a lot of work, though. He helped them a lot. Like with Zeo, when he was doing stuff, he built the red Megazord, basically, for Tommy. He built that. He did a lot of stuff for them that helped out, basically, and made weapons to enhance them and whatnot, which they wouldn't have had without him. So no, he did serve a purpose.
Some random teenager making alien technology. Come on now.
Well, they have random teenagers fighting aliens in the first place. So I mean, what's the line here? But here we go. Christy.
Hello. I'm so sorry.
We already talked about it. You missed everything.
I know. I was listening in the car. I was just like, I'm driving down 183 And I'm like, fuck, they've gone over fucking everything.
Yeah, we're just about to switch into Beyond Mighty Morphin in a sec,
Yeah.
but while you're here,
Now,
say stuff you wanted to comment on. You're good.
Y'all already talked about everything with Mighty Morphin. I mean, fuck.
Did we leave anything out? We didn't talk much about Kimberly that much, or
I don't care.
you can talk about your favorite character or whatever.
No, I haven't. I need to pull the clip from Mads Mama Bear's stream where Steve Kenobi was commenting about the Ivan ooze
I told him about
and how he was like, "Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious." He keeps DMing. He's like, "Christy is so disappointed. She doesn't know what to do with her life."
I said Ivan's a good character. He's just not my favorite. He's not my favorite.
I know, but see,
Lord Zed and he clipped her. Yeah.
wait. So for context, for people that don't know, Christy, what's up with you and Ivan Ooze? What's up with that?
Well, because I bought that. I used to be a big like Power Rangers fan, and I had all of the stuff that they had new in 96, 97 that came out.
Yeah.
Especially with Mighty Morphin.
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Morphin. I had everything. And then my sister threw it all away. And I was pissed. I was pissed. Because it's not like my mom was like, here's the money. No, damn it, I had to go do chores and everything like that. I know, right? Darn those chores as a child. Damn them. And getting that money.
Curse the sister for throwing them away, Curse her.
I know.
Haunt her forever. Just ruin her day.
And I
Worth some money now if you still had them.
well, you tell me about it. And I actually got that. Where I live, there's a local. It's called the DAV. It really, I support that more than like Goodwill or anything like that because it puts vets back into work, coming with service and stuff like that. And they had that there for $2, and I saw it on Amazon. It was like 20 something. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy it."
Damn.
So I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I was gonna say, what did you think of Ivan Ooze?
I honestly, I think that I liked the character the best in that movie because let's be honest, I mean that movie was. It's nostalgia. I get that, but
As I know, on an objective, it's
it's pretty bad.
It wasn't there yet anyway. There's only
Yeah.
The pig thing was dumb. Honestly, Ivan's plan was dumb. It wasn't really threatening.
And what's kind of disingenuous is in the storyline for the TV show, they didn't continue that, or they did just some.
They scrapped it completely.
They scrapped it completely.
Did the Ninjor thing and Rito as the new thing.
Yeah.
And Rita's Rita's dad and brother basically come in and start helping them out, try to attack them and cause some trouble, and have Ninjor do them, which I don't know if Ninjor was a Super Sentai creation or just American. I actually don't know that.
Well, since all the hell if I know, I don't know.
Because they had a lot of stuff where they couldn't take things from Sentai and just made them, like Lord Zed was a completely American one. So there's quite a bit of things that was all American that they did. But
I've never watched Sentai in my life. I
haven't either. But I'm getting suggestions on videos as and I'm like, oh, what's this? And it's like so I'm able to see things and people's videos about them. So I'm learning as I go.
What about our friend that wanted to do a stream? Rookie, you don't want to invite him?
Who?
Oh no. We'll live.
I'll tell you later.
We'll live with that. Anyway, so we're transitioning into the Zeo-ish area, and we can kind of. I don't have much to say on it really. So we can unless you guys have something.
Wasn't it Turbo before Zeo?
No, it goes right because the Mighty Morphin they had. I'll run down the finale of the Mighty Morphin thing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So they had the alien rangers, come to Earth and whatnot for a bit, and then they had the kids because they got turned into little kids basically.
Right.
And then they once they fixed them and got them to full size again, the ninjas or the aliens left, but then Goldar and Rito had a bomb at the bottom of the command center or something, and basically blew it up. and then they go into Zeo because they went on this journey as kids to find the crystals or something, the Zeo crystals, and then that saved them or something, and that had the power. So they pretty much went right into Zeo with that. They had a whole other command center built separately to this, where they continued. And they had the old Ranger suits up on the wall to go, oh, we will remember the legacy of that we had.
Kind of cool though, you know.
Yeah,
it was like a Superman clip where you see all his different, suits and stuff.
Pretty much, it's kind of like Iron Man with his suits and stuff too.
Yeah. So to come back because I saw DJ was Tommy on the thumbnail. Comics Division did a face reveal on Friday Night Tights last night.
Oh, he did?
And I was like, what the hell does he look? Who the hell does he look like? Not some 80s rocker. I was like, not some 90s, not a 90s like punk rock band or anything. I was like, holy shit, he looks like Tommy. So I was just like, I thought I'd bring that up. I was just like, I was just telling him.
Guys.
It looks like JDF. That's cool. But yeah, so like Zeo became the next thingy, and then they had like the mystical Zords, like the Sphinx and the other, I don't know, whatever. I don't remember what the other ones were, but
I didn't mind Zeo that much at all.
Yeah, they had some good things in Zeo, I think, but ultimately is just continuing, trying to continue the story with the American stuff using River.
Divatox.
Yeah.
Divatox became the villain for Turbo.
Oh, Turbo, yeah.
And so let's honestly just skip over to Turbo because there's not as much to talk about with Zeo.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's kind of a forgettable season. I mean, there's good things in Zeo. There's good things, sure, but like ultimately, who cares? Like,
what do you think about Jason's return? I know we talked about that before, but you can go ahead and tell her.
So I think that the Gold Ranger in Zeo was a cool concept. That was like the main thing that they had. That was a cool idea. It was like this Ranger from space comes in, and they're like, what the hell? There's another Ranger here? Awesome. And he's helping them out, trying to fight, and they don't know who he is, trying to figure out who he is. And he's like a different alien, basically. A Triforian, I think, was what he was. Yeah. And, then he's losing powers, and, okay, we need somebody on Earth to take the power. Who can do it? Everybody's like, Billy. And he's like, dude, I don't want to fight. And then so he's like, I know somebody that could. And he brought Jason back, and it's like, I kind of liked that because Jason failed to save Tommy's power before, I think, with the Green Ranger and stuff. So it's kind of like a swap thing. I don't know. It was kind of cool in that they swapped from leader to the extra.
But then they had him like running through the desert, and he had the big like.
They tried to make us confused on who was
doing that.
they tried to go, who is this new Ranger going to be? But I
like that. Like if they would make a Gold Ranger movie like that, I think I would like it. But you have to build it up.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, I like the concept of him being like this. He's a temporary Ranger basically.
Yeah, because he can't withstand the power.
Yeah, but the fact that he could do it for a while, and he just was able to jump back in, and even though he left the show for whatever reasons and stuff too, and came back.
Design is probably one of the best besides Tommy's Green Ranger. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And the staff was kind of cool too.
That's true. It's a cool power. Yeah. They do like to make the Sixth Rangers seem extra badass all the time in every season. Wow, he's so cool. He can take us on all by himself. But then when they need to, they'll have it 1v1. It's like, okay, but it's all good. But so Turbo, everyone's favorite season of Power Rangers, obviously, right? Christy, what's your favorite part about Turbo? Did you like them? Let's start with the movie. The movie is not that great, but the music, go Power Rangers Turbo, go shift into.
I had to watch the movie this week because I'd never watched that second movie. I'd never watched it.
In the first one, I think
I mean, because with the first movie, you had like Sammy Hagar come in, like the very beginning of that movie was so great, and the second one, I was just like, I don't know about this one, because I never did like the character of Kat. I didn't like her at all.
Yeah, she was horrible.
I didn't like that. I hated that character. The actor. I mean,
Tommy, you saved me. Save me, Tommy.
No, Rookie. That's a Cockney accent. That's not an Australian accent. That's a Cockney accent.
Well, the Valley Girl of Kimberly was a better interest, unfortunately. Whatever, that was better than all right, save me, all right, it's all good. I don't
It's
know.
a horrible accent.
I don't know what else she does as a character. You know, at least Kimberly
I don't
did
even
something.
really remember the point in Turbo. Do you?
Money.
No, I meant the storyline.
The storyline of Turbo.
Yeah, I just don't remember it.
I do.
It was so awful. I didn't really.
I remember. So it's
What was it?
so let's see. I'll start with the end of Zeo. They don't really have a conclusion. They have Mondo and the Machine Empire basically getting destroyed, but they imply that they can come back, and they have like Rita and Zed on the moon, and we're gonna they blew up them basically, and that's the last we see of either of them. And then they just start with they're in space, and there's the little wizard dude running away, and she's trying to capture him and his power or something, and then he comes to Earth, and so Divatox comes to Earth, and she's trying to get his power so that she can release Melderlack or something. I don't remember what the hell his name was for a sec, but they used his model image to be Dark Spectre in space later, and she's trying to release this evil dude. It's basically the whole point here, and then the show is she's trying to beat those pesky Rangers for doing whatever, because that's what she's ordered. She's basically ordered to be there to fight the Rangers, and then by the end of the show, they get destroyed and they got to go in space. So that's the point. That's the best I can come up with for it, because there is no real reason for them to be there. Even like everyone else is like, why are they here? They're here. You know,
I just never understood the cars, the vehicles.
the power of Turbo.
Yeah.
Well, Turbo looked more. What's the word I'm looking for as far as like the storyline and like from the TV show to the movie? What's it like?
Well, they float
canon. That's what it is. I think maybe is that the word I'm looking for? As far as like the storylines,
the movie is essentially the pilot, and it goes right into the show. The first episode of the show is them. It's actually the kids graduating, except for Justin. You know, it's the kids are graduating.
Such a stupid character.
Yeah, but I mean, that was one good thing. They had the kids graduate, so they're not bound to school anymore for once, which was different-ish. And they're like, "Hey, remember the events of Turbo?" Basically, is the whole first episode. But then they have they have to show Justin fight in the first episode, and like Eldar or the hey guys, I'm gonna play whatever with the skinny head, the Goldar replacement.
What the hell is this kid's parents?
I don't know. They have the kid fight.
Seriously.
They have the kid, but without being morphed. They have the kid fight a few of the Bronatons or whatever they're called. And oh my god! And then he morphs. Like, oh hiya! It's squeaky voice. It's so annoying. Man, even my mom when I was a kid, she was like, I hate that kid. It's like, yeah, us too. That was the thing. They thought that they could cast a kid as a ranger, and then kids go, "Yay, he's a ranger, and I could be one too." But we're like, no, we never needed a kid to go, "Yeah, we're a ranger too." Like that was never a thing. We never needed a kid to be there.
Realistic to me,
Yeah, we're like,
no, it wasn't.
Why can a kid fight when they have martial artists and adult, at least higher? What? Does that kid hang out at bars when he's morphed or something? Like, trying to pick up on chicks because he's taller? With it, hey, babe, Nostalgia Critic did a funny joke like that with him growing.
Yeah. If he can grow, why not just make Alpha a Power Ranger?
I mean, that's a good point. Alpha would probably do more damage. He'd be a robot.
That's a real good point.
He'd be a robot, dude. Robot Ranger. But yeah, I mean, the season finale of Turbo is like the main thing I like. Oh yeah, hold on. Do you guys remember the Phantom Ranger and the Cop Ranger? That was in Turbo.
Cop Ranger.
Honestly,
you guys remember that?
I don't remember a lot from Turbo. I remember I picked it up again after what was it in space? Is that the next one?
No, the one.
Yes. Power Rangers. Power Rangers Turbo. I'm remembering it wrong.
It goes Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time 4, and so on and so on.
I started picking up in Turbo again because at that point I was like low key watching Power Rangers because I was in high school. So I was just like wouldn't be caught dead watching that shit at whatsoever. My friends would tease me bad.
Yeah, don't worry, Drew. We'll talk about the movie.
Oh yeah, but no. hold on,
Which
so
movie?
Well, it was 2017 movie, right? Yeah, I think it's 2017.
Oh, that movie had so much
Yeah,
promise.
we'll get there.
We're almost there. We're getting there soon. Very
Yeah.
soon. But hold on, I want to show you the stupid Cop Ranger because it's so stupid. It's like honestly, I don't understand. That's it's just a Sentai thing, maybe, but like it was a cop Power Ranger, and it was like really, like I don't remember him in the show.
Like, travel to universe and try to track down people with power coins. Like that would make more sense.
Yeah,
Kind of like Arbiter and the fan film.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I can't make the.
I think I actually had an action figure of this guy.
Can't make the screen bigger. But,
My cousin did. He had an action figure of this. I don't remember that.
And I think I had the bike too.
Yep, he had his bike and everything. It was funny.
And then they'll fight like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and stuff.
Yeah. Oh boy. But so after the season finale.
RoboCop.
Yeah. Oh boy. But yeah, no, I think they send the cop and the Phantom Ranger into space before the Rangers do, like halfway through the seasons, I think. And then I did like how they had Zordon. He's like, I'm gonna go back to my home planet for a bit. You guys chill. Mm-hmm. And then they get their asses destroyed by this other dude. And like they get their base destroyed, they get disheveled. Their whole they even they're just all defeated pretty much. And I was like, that was nice because up to then we kind of got juked out on their defeat. It would always instantly switch to the next thing, kind of with Mighty Morphin to Zeo to Turbo. There wasn't like this sense of you have completely lost. Mm-hmm. It's like in this they did lose. They lost their connection to Zordon. They lost their Zords, lost their powers. So I was like, that was kind of cool. And like, what do we do now? Like they're about to go out and be evil everywhere and come back. Like, we're screwed. Send Ducks here. So they go, we got to go to space too. And they do. And then they have the whole, okay, this was kind of interesting. What do you guys think of like the coalition of evil? Basically the Legion of Doom of the Power Rangers. Yeah. There's like this whole like organization of space evil.
I don't remember it.
Kind of like Star Wars,
Yeah, I kind of like the addition personally in a way because it's not just Earth. I mean, they made it seem in the beginning of the show, if you remember, they were like Earth is like the only place that isn't taken over by evil, which was kind of a lie based on the rest of the universe. But it's like, so it's like, oh, it's a bigger universe out there. Okay, cool. And then we discovered Alien Rangers at some point, and so they go into space now anyway. So I think that was a good way to change the story. And they had Andros.
They never really explain how everyone had powers to begin with, right? In the TV show.
What was that?
I said they never really explained how everyone had powers and power coins and everyone became Power Rangers all over the universe in the TV show, right? That was the problem.
Well, because not all the powers came from the coins. There's like different ways to access the grid.
On some random planet, there's humanoids with, almost the same design.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the essence was that there's different ways to access the grid, but the coins were like the first way to access it officially, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever really explained the grid in the first couple seasons.
Well, no, but I'm saying as we progressed, they kind of made it clear that there's other ways to access the grid other than with the coins. Like with the crystals, for example, the Zeo crystals, those were a way to access the grid too. Well,
see, then, yeah, it would make sense that you would have these planets that will try to gain that power and use it for evil, Yeah,
which is essentially what a lot of the villains in other shows end up becoming, is trying to get the power or something, like with the Quasar Sabers in the galaxy. That's another way to get the power, essentially, as with those. And they were after that for a while and then kind of gave up, and then we're just fighting them for a while. But so in space, we've made it to in space, and Christy is gone again for the moment. This is perfect timing.
The balanced looking guy as a Red Ranger, right? With like the blonde stripe down his head.
Yeah. But so in space, what do you think of Power Rangers in space?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I remember the episode with the little kid being like stranded and one when they're taking off. I can't go with you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna stay with my dad. He wanted to stay with his daddy because he's a kid. So, which was good because if you know
I'm just leaving the planet.
Yes.
So family just at home.
Well, it's like, what use would this kid be anyway, really? But why was he there in the first place the whole season? Like, I can't believe it being like, oh, you're an adult, and then you're being attacked by monsters, and then this 12-year-old is supposed to save you. Like,
sorry, I can only help you guys after 3 p.m.
yeah. Well, it's like when they have him do any fight,
right.
the logistics of fighting. I'm like, how does he even know how to punch, how to block, how to do anything? I mean, they've always implied with the power that they at least kind of knew something before-ish. I don't know. It's just it's so stupid with the boy. We're starting in space now, Christy.
But that was also a problem with the early episodes. Like, they're students, but if you have someone attack like 10 in the morning, what are they going to do? How are they going to get out of class all the damn time?
Oh my God! There's an episode in Beetleborgs where they were like with the bad guy was talking to the Beetleborg kids basically, and they were like, we're going to have our final battle tomorrow after school and at 3 o'clock. I was like, oh my God! He said after school.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you fight a bully. Oh, I'm going to meet you at 3 o'clock.
They have the kids looking at the clock all day, like, oh no, our final battle's coming.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it was great.
Impending doom.
Yep. But so you guys talk for a sec. So in space, this is like typically the most favored season amongst most people.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the show?
Yeah.
You can start from beginning to end or wherever you want. I feel like we should wait a sec to get to the ending, but you guys talk about, take it away.
I'm trying to remember between this and Lost Galaxy. Is this one with the Ecliptor and
yes, there's
and you had the girl in the black latex purple hair.
So that is played by Melody Perkins. I remember.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and she was Astronema, the like evil princess of the galaxy, kind of.
She was hot.
Yeah, dude, she was killing it. Well, and Ashley as the Yellow Ranger was awesome as well.
The guy who played the boy ranger, good grief, the blue ranger, and TJ and Diva Talks. They're married in real life.
What?
The more you know.
From in space.
In space.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same actor, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the black guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the red.
The black guy.
He took over. Well, I'm just saying. There's only him and Zach. Basically, it's the black guys in the show up to that point. And then,
up to that point. Yeah.
And then Quanisha, or what was her name?
Aisha.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Same thing. I'm kidding. But okay, so I like TJ. How a lot of the episodes, especially during the Psycho Rangers. I mean, how he was the leader of the Rangers for a while when he was in Turbo, and then in this, even though he's not the leader anymore, still kind of has that sense to keep on trying to think of strategies. Kind of like that. That was a good character thing to keep it consistent. Okay, so you guys, I feel like I'm talking all this whole much, and I'm trying. I know so.
You gotta understand. I mean, you're more. I mean, I remember this stuff, but like Mighty Morphin and In Space were essentially the ones that I watched the most.
You probably didn't you, Rookie?
What?
No.
Did you go back and watch it?
Seasons. I haven't watched it since it aired.
No. So, like with the Mighty Morphin run, I have only seen a handful of episodes with Mighty Morphin. I like the ones that are on Netflix. I kind of skipped around to ones that I think that I might think are interesting because there's 300 episodes or something in the Mighty Morphin run, and I imagine that most of them are kind of fillery types anyway. That are just here's another monster,
I think it's like a year 20 where they like change stuff around about the original couple seasons. It's like a revision.
Year 20?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's
God damn, they've been around for that long?
Longer.
30, almost 30.
I'm 26. Like they've been around at least 26, 27 years.
Oh my God,
like,
I feel so. I mean,
That's
you're
pretty
only 26.
Yeah.
I'm only 9 years older than you, but still.
Yeah. That's all good. So
yeah, I liked him too.
Yep.
Yeah. Zane. I liked how Zane came in.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, and who was the Pink Ranger?
Cassie.
That's all to me.
I was. Yeah, but he's probably looking at something right now just to make sure he knows who it is.
No, I'm on the StreamYard thing.
Probably got a PowerPoint.
Just commenting.
I legit have Wikipedia pulled up right now just to make sure.
I do have some clips pulled up, but that's it. Just some clips, but that's it. You're talking about Zane and Cassie and Ashley.
Yeah. Zane and Cassie. Andros. I don't know. What do y'all think?
You go. Take it away, DJ.
I liked him. You know, he wasn't too bad.
See, okay. See,
probably my second favorite character besides Zane.
See, okay, I got to go through the history here now. So he started out, he's an Earthling, kind of, or at least he's a human anyway.
Yeah.
Born on a different planet. You guys remember the name?
No.
KO-35. And
rings a bell now.
Born over there, and he's like a little kid, and it was Darkonda, one of the other evil guys, just snatches his sister away from him as a little kid. So that's the first thing he sees, into evil and whatnot, is his sister gets kidnapped right away. She becomes Astronema later, and one of the evil ones he's got to fight. And
what's her name? What's the sister's actual name? Ricky.
Corone.
This ain't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now. Or Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, pretty much. So Andros is, with his team, he had a Ranger team for a while, and Zane was one of them, of course. But his team got destroyed in one of these battles, and Zane was injured as well in one of these battles and almost destroyed. So he had to freeze him for a while in order to save him, and thought that he was pretty much going to die. They had a good concept with him, but they didn't really do much with him, honestly. Like, he could have been a cool character in my opinion with Zane, but I didn't really care about him. There was like 2 episodes where he's like, "Oh, my powers might fade away from me, and if I don't do something," and then he just climbs to a mountain and then gets his powers back. And it was like,
yeah,
I was
like there's no build up,
There's no tension with it. I didn't believe for 1 second he was going to lose them.
Tommy, oh, my powers are fading.
Yeah, with Tommy, they at least actually had him lose his powers for a while, and when he's in the middle of battle, it fades as he's fighting. So it's like
Goldar in that like bubble universe, dimension.
But that was his own dimension, I think. That was his own pocket dimension. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's that. So with Zane, I mean, they had opportunities with him, but I liked his Mega Winger that his people built, but that's it. Other than that, I don't really care about him. He's pretty useless and uninteresting. The rest of the cast was fine by itself. Andros alone, I feel like, had a lot of motivation on him. Like, when he was reluctant to have the team because he lost his own team in battle and had to freeze his best friend.
His character arc is pretty good for like a movie if they ever want to do one like that too.
Yeah. I agree. And okay, yeah. Somebody else talk. I feel like I'm going to go into more history. I'm going to go into more history if I keep on talking.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
So,
what was the ship name? What was their ship name?
Oh,
don't look at your notes.
The mega ship.
No.
Wait, whose ship?
No, wait. Was it the ship or what? When they were in space? No, wait. Am I getting ahead of myself? Wait, no.
No, yeah, you're lost.
If you're talking about Terra Venture, that's Galaxy.
No.
You gotta be, what ship you talking
no. It wasn't. What the hell was it?
You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, it's who they would talk to inside the ship.
Oh, that was Deca.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Deca, alpha thingies to whatever thingies. And they had Ninja Turtle. They had Ninja Turtles and stuff and trying to jack the ship from Deca and all that. And they had the Ninja Turtles change the voice and she'd be like, "Yeah, what's up, dudes? We're going to self-destruct the
I like that
shit, man."
Like, I think they should do like a
I like that episode too.
Crossover one day.
See, I would agree, but the fact that they didn't utilize them that much with the crossovers with the creatures, because there's actually a crossover in Mighty Morphin with the Masked Rider. You guys remember that? The Masked Rider?
No, I don't.
Sure.
Remember.
It was in episode. It was in season 2 where Alpha is getting a distress call from another planet, and he's like, that's where he was built. The guy who built him was from this planet, and it's under siege from. That was when they remember. You guys remember that huge Zord that they had? Or no, it wasn't. No, that was later. But these other people were pretty much destroying the planet and making it unhealthy or something. So the Rangers go there, and there's these people, rebel force there. That's Masked Rider. It's like the more bug morphine, but they're not Beetleborgs. They're Power Ranger-y Beetleborgs kind of. And they got a spin-off into their own show after that. And and they pretty much exist in the same universe. And then there's also the Ninja Turtles you guys saw. They cross paths, and it's like, see, I would have enjoyed it more if, like, in the final battle of the season, if they were also kind of there, but they don't really have them come back. So
yeah.
So to me, their cameos are pointless to me. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny, I guess.
But
For
they're
fun.
rebooting Ninja Turtles too, so who knows if they can ever cross.
Who knows?
True.
Mm-hmm.
But so what do you guys think? Do you guys remember Dark Spectre? He was the big evil thing that always talked with this in his hands, and he's like the lava monster.
Show us the picture.
It was Trakina's father, right?
Trakina's father. No, that's the Scorpion. That's King Scorpion. That's in Galaxy. You're thinking far ahead. This was the.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'm trying not to look at the notes, but I think I have to. I don't even look at what.
See, I don't even know how to get notes. I'm just I like how Dark Spectre is the first thing that comes up though. When I type in Dark SP, it's like, okay.
Yeah, let me bring that up.
I hope the chat's enjoying this. By the way, I've been looking here and there, but can't really read them as well. But
they keep correcting us.
This is Dark Spectre. He's this weird lava fish-looking dude. He's the same creature that was in the Turbo Power Rangers movie, but they just used the same model to be a different character, pretty much. But he was the villain. He's supposed to be the mastermind behind Rita. Zed.
Did he like float in space or something, or was that?
Yeah, they never show his legs. He just floats in space.
So it's kind of like Brainiac, right?
I guess. I thought Brainiac had human forms and stuff too. I never really watched the Superman and all that too much to really know. But anyway, yeah, he's just that. He's the mastermind of the evil and all that. But he gets killed by Astronema at some point toward the end, and then she becomes the Empress of Evil, basically what Rita wanted to be the whole time, which is kind of funny. You said you liked Ecliptor. Do you remember his story and all that? His involvement?
I remember he like combined with another character, right?
Later, but yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
A cool storyline with that.
Well, so with him, it was more so a lot of the evil characters in the show are basically supposed to be evil characters for the most part. But Dark Conda
hero kind of at the end, though, right?
What?
I said I think he turned good for a little bit, right?
That's what I'm getting to right here. So it's like they're supposed to be evil, and like Darkonda took Corone, Astronema, when she was a kid, and they were going to raise her to be evil. But Ecliptor basically took her from him or something and was raising her on his own, and he was basically like a father to her, and he loved her, and that's something that the evil people don't really do, is actually like kind of love. And so he would defend her and protect her as much as he can. And so in the main show and stuff, like he would always try to be protecting her no matter what, even if he's got to be good for a while or betray the bad guy for a while. Like he would try to be good, but Darkonda would always screw with him, and he ends up rebuilding Ecliptor to be a little more evil in a certain way. And then same with Astronema and whatnot. He's basically the father, which he gets. It kind of sucks how he gets killed, over this, because it's like
he was like an android, right? Like a robot.
It's kind of confusing. I want to say
if he was organic or not.
I think he's organic, but they made him kind of robotic later with Darkonda. He upgraded him to be more mechanic, I suppose. But I would say in space is when the shows when they started the show that Power Rangers can be emotional and a little more dramatic. It's not all just corniness, which it is for the most part. Of course, that goes without saying. It's going to be corny, but they added a lot more emotion with a lot of the things, like even the dichotomy with Andros and his sister. The epitome of evil, and he's supposed to be good and stuff. Yeah. And he's got to, at one point she almost joined their side. She almost gave up, but then she got captured and pretty much reprogrammed and totally screwed off. And it was like, damn. And that's when she unleashed the psychos. To drain the evil guy, to drain Zordon and stuff, and to destroy the Power Rangers. She was like doing a hat trick, boom, as soon as she got that evil. And he almost killed her at one point. And when he so let's go to the final episode. You guys probably remember that the best. What were you guys' thoughts on the season finale, the two-parter of the In Space?
I don't know because like that was like my favorite. Besides Mighty Morphin, that was my favorite. Was those finales, and I liked how they ended it, but I don't know. It seemed watching it again. It kind of seemed rushed. Maybe not. Maybe that's just me.
No, it was. I think they could have had at least one extra episode or two.
Yeah. But I liked that Corone or Astronomer was actually Corone.
Yeah.
I did like that. But honestly, I liked the Psycho Rangers better than the Power Rangers during in space. I really did. The Psycho Rangers I loved them.
Those were pretty good. DJ, you liked the Psycho Rangers too, right?
Yeah.
Of course. You guys any favorite parts with them? Any favorite fights? Or any other lines, or they're bickering with each other? Any of that?
Nothing that I can recall.
I mean, if we watched it, we could probably say, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But Ricky, I don't remember that shit.
I remember when they have the effect to make them run fast, and it's like their front body is like perfectly still, and their legs like.
Oh yeah. What
Oh yeah.
And they had their communicators make the blee, blah, blah, and they're trying to track them or whatever. And there's like the episode where they're trying to track them by voice and stuff. Like I like the increasing tension of their threat. They pretty much steal your moves from your head, and so they know you and they know how you fight. Right. Yeah, when they did their initial fight, they're in that warehouse, and there's a point in their skirmish where they like grab the heads of the Rangers and were like taking their fighting moves basically from them. So every time they were to fight each other, like red on red, blue on blue, they pretty much knew all their moves and were able to fight them. That's why later TJ is like, hey, maybe we swap it up, and then they ended up doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The finale is when Rita, Zed, and the other lady became human, right?
Yes, which was weird.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I agree. That was pretty dumb.
Yeah, I was telling Rookie before that it's supposed to wipe out the evil in the universe, but then they still exist next season.
Well, it's like it's more okay. With Rita specifically, her story doesn't even end there, guys. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit if you guys don't know. They do more with Rita later, but it's not in a way that we all like. It's a character. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Type of a thing.
And the actual Power Rangers, like story, like the actual.
In one of the seasons in Mystic Force, but okay, so
hell, I didn't watch that.
Okay, so so Mystic Force is the only season that I tried to watch that I didn't watch as a kid. Like I stopped watching when I was like in sixth grade. That was when SPD was around. I like stopped watching around there. And then I didn't really watch them until I was like, oh, they're on Netflix. Let me see if I could, as an adult, watch a new like a one I didn't see and see if I can live. It was hard. I think I kept myself preoccupied while it's on half the time. But there was an episode. They briefly say it. It's like a one-liner. They're like, oh, you have to go to the magic realm of blah de blah. Rita, the old Empress of Evil, is now good there and does the good magic or something. And it's like, what was that? What? She what now? She's the good magic person, and they show her like I'll pull up an image so you guys can see it. It's the same actress who played her in the Japanese one, and I was like, what the hell? So Mystic Force Rita. Oh God, Jesus! It's like you wouldn't recognize her really because she looks so awful here. This is what they do with Rita in Mystic Force. She's briefly in it for like an episode.
I don't remember that at all. Awful.
And she gets her.
Don't do it.
And on top of that, she gets her ass. Yeah.
Wow.
Bitch looks like she needs a drink or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
But they never brought back like Zed in a good way, right?
They never mentioned him again. They never mentioned him again, pretty much. As far as I could tell. At least in the ones I know of. For all I know, they did, but in a different season. But like I haven't watched like I said, I haven't watched the other seasons. Like the only one I tried to watch post childhood was Mystic Force, and that was tough. Jungle Fury I tried to watch a little bit too, which technically there's more potential in that to be good, but it's like I don't really care either. Like, you know, the way they do the effects is so bland, and I don't know. There's lots of things that make you not care. You know, as an adult, it is hard to watch the show, especially if you didn't watch it as a kid. Like a different season, yeah. It is tough to watch. So I haven't watched a lot of stuff, guys. It's just some research I found while just the recommendations on YouTube, and then I'm like, oh, what is that? So then I search it for a sec. Oh, interesting. So that's a lot of my information here. But I also, with Power, it's one of those weird things where when you're a kid, you don't remember all the stuff you learned in school, but you memorize like all the Pokemon or all the things with Power Rangers and stuff. And it's like that's kind of what I have right now, is that like permanent memory of all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to recall that so well.
That's probably why we can't remember a lot of stuff from school, because we're retaining this crap.
Yeah, exactly. It's filled our heads, man.
I have the opposite, because I mean, like, I remember, I can see the episode playing in my mind of like Psycho, when the Pink Ranger was in the mall and they told her not to talk, and Andros was dressed as a clown. I mean, I can see all of that, but I can't remember any dialogue. I mean, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember specific things because I was able to rent those at Blockbuster, because they'd always have the Psycho ones available at Blockbuster, the Psycho Ranger episodes. Mm-hmm. And so I could just go and rent it and watch it when I wanted to, since I never caught it on TV when it was televised. So yeah, I remember they're like, you know, when she's trying to be quiet, there's a baby about to be pushed off the stairs, like, look out, like screaming. Stupid. It's like, oh, that's cringe. And yeah, I remember I love the bickering between the Psychos. Because they're always like, oh, you never could beat them. I'm going to kill the Blue Ranger. No, I'm going to destroy the Rangers. No, fuck you. I'm going to destroy. It's cute banter. It's adorable.
But I don't think they ever really killed anything, right?
They hardly did, but they attempted to.
But it seemed badass. I love their outfits, you know, their costume.
Going into Galaxy, we're not there yet, but Galaxy, the Psychos come back, and that's one of the best couple series.
Yes,
we'll get there in a sec. But so the finale, so in the context of the show, this was basically the swan song for Power Rangers. The American studio that was making them at the time was like, you're pretty much going to be canceled, especially after Turbo. They're like, man, this could be your last episodes. Thankfully, most people loved the hell out of it in space and were able to continue. And the finale was probably a big help. But it's like, so they have all the, you know, Dark Spectre is like, okay, we're going to attack everyone at once. So they have Rita, they send King Mondo, they send all the Divatox, they send all the bad people, Astronema, extra villains we never saw before, attack planet after planet after planet. You see the Gold Ranger trying to fight off like 50 monsters at once. You see the Alien Rangers try to fight off people, the Phantom, the Police One. Everybody is trying to do their thing where they can, and they're all getting their asses kicked. And they're like, essentially, Earth is the last one, again, where there's any type of stand to do, and they get their asses kicked there too. They get their asses handed to them, basically, and it's like shit. So you know, they're all pretty much you know, trying to figure out what to do. People are in the streets being rounded up by the Quantons and Bronatrons and whatever the hell Monotons. You know, no more putties, but you know, they had these guys round everybody up, and this is like where this was a good moment. They had Bulk and Skull. Yeah. Bulk and Skull, the goofballs of the whole show, just, you know, always able to find. Yeah. Always being rescued by the Rangers, all this stuff, all the time, and they're like, you know, everybody's giving help, like, losing help around them. They're like, where are the Rangers to help us now? They're like, they've always been there for us, you know. And it's like, you know, are we going to just let them, you know, just because they're here, are we going to give up or not? Would they give up? No. And you know, that's when they have the like, I am Spartacus, but you know, I'm a Ranger too, and then like, destroy them all, and you know, they actually reveal themselves as the Rangers up there, and they fight. They're just like, those guys, people we hung out all the time. Which them revealing they're the Rangers shouldn't be that much of a shock, because they only knew them for like a few months. As to where the like Tommy and Jason and all them, they knew for presumably much longer in their lives.
Yeah. I could never tell, you know, they were wearing the same colors as the Power Rangers all the damn time.
Yeah, exactly. And whenever there's a new Ranger, they wear the same shirt. Oh, a White Ranger's around? Oh, Tommy's wearing green now. He used to wear green. But you see, there's lots of good moments in the final episode, especially, you know, let's also go to when Zordon is about to be destroyed. Like, Andros is there talking to him, and basically he's like, you know, okay, there's so much evil around here. The Rangers, you can't really do anything. The only way you can do it is by killing me. And they're like, dude, you're the guy that like made anything happen here, like any type of defense against the evil in the first place. And it's in a way it's the ultimate failure of the Rangers, because they weren't able to defeat the bad guys. They had to kill their biggest mentor, the biggest power of good, to be able to defeat the evil at the moment. And it's like they couldn't do it on their own at all. So
I hated Zordon.
All right, but I still think that the moment of the Rangers, them destroying him was their ultimate failure, because they couldn't defeat the evil any other means.
The first 10 years, they had like such great storylines,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good connecting threads. I mean, even though I feel like if it was Jason that did it, or Jason or Tommy, that would have been a lot better. He said they did mention Lord Zed and Rita, the son of Thrax, and the Ranger. Okay, yeah, I assumed. Yeah, they might. Yeah, that sounds good. I never watched that one, so they did. But it's like I don't know. Zordon wasn't the best mentor in the series, I don't think. But I feel like I don't know. For the most part, he did his job.
In the movie where he's like he didn't have no legs and stuff.
I mean, it was like a
Crystals.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't know. What do you think about Zordon, Christy? What's your feelings about him?
For someone who like a failed Yoda in a way. I mean, if you really want to think about it, that's
like a Force Ghost now.
I mean, thinking when you're watching it as a kid, you just think, oh yeah, there's this guy. This guy in this glass vase thing is instructing these kids to help the world and stuff. But when you're in it, that's in a child's eye. But as an adult, I'm just like, Lord have mercy.
Why he was in the glass case back then?
Exactly. I mean, I liked him. I liked him more in the movie itself.
You mean you didn't like this version of him?
It's Rita. She's escaped and she's attacking the planet.
What do we do?
Teleport to us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No, not that. Not teenagers.
You didn't like that? 5 over-emotional, overbearing humans.
Teenagers.
Not teenagers.
Another thing, why wouldn't you get grown adults that are like stronger?
Exactly.
No. They don't. I don't know if they say why in the show, but it's implied that it's because you give that type of power to an adult, they will abuse it. They'll end up being they'll be more of a conqueror. So they'll be Lord Draken essentially.
And a teenager won't.
Wild,
The assumption is that they're
the same guy I was when I was a teenager.
That's true. There's different. In a way, you could be better or worse when you get older. It all depends. But I mean, I guess the assumption was that they're too innocent at the moment to be evil yet, which is what I'm assuming they're going with. So, yeah, but it's like, okay, it's not like they picked 12-year-olds specifically. They seem to pick like 15, 16-year-olds.
Then how do you explain Justin?
He doesn't count. Okay, that was. That was a marketing thing they tried to do to get more viewers. That's not the same as what the original team. The intention of the original team was they're basically adults, but they're young enough to not be entirely corrupted yet. Like and the fact that they listen to their parent. Well, I don't know. I don't even know about that with the parents or not. It's like they mentioned the parents in like 3 episodes, I think. But I don't know. So the finale anyway. With the finale. Was pretty good, but I think it would have been better. Again, this kind of goes to my point of like when Tommy loses his powers and he just kind of screws off and doesn't really do anything. It's like you'd think that ex-Rangers would at least be somewhat interested in the world being threatened by whatever foe is there now. Even if they can't be a Ranger and help in that way, you'd think they'd want to help in some other way. It may be, but I don't know. Like in the final battle, we don't get to see Jason or Tommy or anybody fight in the final battle in space. It's just. It's the main team, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, this specific team has only been around for, half of Turbo and then in space, which is fine, I guess. But I mean, you could have had other people.
You got to remember, like around that time, you have like Kimberly. It's not her name's not Kimberly.
Amy Jo Johnson.
Amy Jo Johnson was like on Felicity, and they were. I mean,
and
you transitioned.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you think they could have, hey, we're going to pay you money to be in our finale, or you guys want to be in the last thing of Power Rangers because there's not going to be any after this. You think they'd maybe drop by, or at least a few of the people in it. JDF especially would have. You know, that would have been interesting to see him in the final battle and as not a Power Ranger, but as a human trying to fight anyway. You know, that's one of the things about his character that kind of confuses me. It's like he just seems to only care when he's a Power Ranger. It's like, nah, I'm just gonna go do my own thing. Fuck you guys. I'll get a smoothie, and that's it. It's like, okay, but I don't know.
But I did kind of like how they made him into more of a mentor later on. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That later on, that was good.
More Power Rangers would have been that, you know, ex Power Rangers. I mean,
yeah. Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to his mentorship that we can touch on in a bit.
Like randomly, just after he's Gold Ranger, you never hear from him again.
Yeah, true.
In return, you know, as Red Ranger.
But did you guys have anything else you want to say about the In Space or finale that they did or anything?
Nah. I'm just like, nah.
I liked Astronema becoming a Power Ranger, but it just didn't make realistic sense, you know?
Well, I mean, as far as the end,
evil, so hell bent on destroying the galaxy as a Power Ranger now.
Well, I mean, I kind of like it in a way because it's more of, you know,
it's a redemption arc.
It's like she didn't know things about herself or about her past or history that, you know, would affect her now. You know, she grew up thinking she was meant to be this evil thing, but it's like, oh, I have a brother, I have people that care about me. Even when I threaten them in their lives, they still want to try to save me. That's something she doesn't feel other than with the Clipter, maybe. And, you know, when the evil's gone, she can kind of be, I guess, that's kind of annoying too. Their definition of evil.
You would still always have those type of doubts, right? If you're a Power Ranger and she joins your team, after all that, after you battling her for years or whatever, right?
Yeah, but they do a test.
Like anyone had any doubts after that?
But they do a test actually.
Yeah, and that was about it.
And I was gonna say with the In Space team, they did have doubts actually. They chained her up. They didn't trust her.
Oh yeah.
But and then she did betray them, and they're like, oh, fuck you. But then at the very end, she just becomes good, and she's not a Ranger yet. She steps in later. We're almost there. So we're almost to the good. We're almost to the juicier stuff. So it's like. In Space kind of defined that there can be some emotion in Power Rangers, other beyond just surface level stuff in a way, I'd say, at least to start. They started to peek into emotion a little bit. And Galaxy is definitely the first one I'd say that like solidifies that with, you know, their mid-season thing that they do in there. But what do you guys think of Galaxy? As it, you know, start, you guys remember the beginning of Galaxy?
Power Rangers Galaxy, or how it was supposed to go in the
Power
beginning.
Rangers, lost Galaxy.
Yes, Galaxy, whatever.
Far away, deep in space, to a galaxy. Power Rangers go, Power Rangers go.
Wow, rookie. Wow.
I remember all the songs.
I'm impressed.
I remember almost all those.
That's how much he remembers.
What?
I said it's impressive how much you remember the songs, the names, and everything.
It's embarrassing, and it's like they're the ones that just stuck in my head so much. And then like with recently, I've you know listened to some of their stuff as I'm researching, so it's like they're not that bad. Some of them aren't that bad anyway. You know, some of the songs they ain't too bad.
Who was your favorite out of this?
Who is, or the song, or the season? Or
No. Well, like I guess the character. If you you might have more than one though, so I didn't think about that.
Character in the show, in the whole series. There's quite a few, of course. I'd say Time Force has the collection of.
I'm talking about Lost Galaxy, rookie.
Hey, sorry, you weren't being specific. So we were just talking.
Rain.
Okay, with the Lost Galaxy.
Oh, wait, he's not in that one.
Leo is a good character. So is his brother. I would say those two are like the main ones.
Mike. Yeah.
Mike. Oh, you remember Mike? You remember the name?
I do. I sure do. He was good to look at.
So okay, I guess I'll start. I'll just for the audience and for you guys, I'll refresh you on how it starts, and then I want you guys to start taking it away from somewhere with it, so that I'm not doing it so much. So Lost Galaxy starts where the Earth has built a space colony thing that they want to start traveling the galaxy with, so they can find a different planet to expand the human race basically, and they call that Terravenger. And they are just about to leave basically, and they have their little kind of Starship Trooper-esque Marine force with them to be their defense, which I'm glad that they have people trying to actually defend them this time instead of just just Power Rangers specifically. It's like they do have people to try to respond to something happening, and the evil bad guys, which as you were bringing up before, after in space they said pretty much it'll eliminate evil was pretty much what was supposed to have happened, but it's like I feel like it's just the immediate evil, I guess, that's dominating everything right now within
I think
space.
it just affects the galaxy, not the entire universe. So
yeah,
another galaxy,
essentially. So there's other evil people out in the galaxy, in the universe and stuff that have their own
You
thing.
think
And
Zordon would be enough, but apparently not.
well, I assume he's got a limit on a distance, maybe. His tube energy can only go so far, right? That's how I see it. It can only go a couple of solar systems. There's still some evil out there. And King Scorpion, what's his name? King Scorpion, or did they call him something else? I think it was just King Scorpion. Scorpius. Okay, there you go. Wow.
Scorpius.
I didn't remember. I didn't remember that. Okay. So Scorpius and his daughter Chikina and their little evil scorpion-based spaceship tries to go and attack Terravenger, basically, and because they found the Quasar Sabers. That was why they ended up teleporting. I didn't understand the teleportation with the portals. Do you guys remember the portals that would pop up?
Yeah, it's even when I was watching, I was like, well, how in the hell do they do that? I just.
That's a wormhole.
It's a what plot convenience or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Tell me somebody in the chat answers it for me because I actually don't know. But it's like the Stingwingers or something. The new putties, the Stingwingers can like open portals or something, and the good guys they're doing a training session on the moon, and then they get. So I actually don't remember the order of events, but they end up on this planet. That has the Quasar Sabers, which is basically King Arthur-esque sword in the stone type thing. Ancient warriors had these here, and if you're worthy, you can grab them. All these 5 people end up grabbing the stones, grabbing the swords from the stones. Which the person who becomes the Red Ranger did not pull the stone. His brother Mike did. He was chosen to be the Red Ranger, but he ends up getting killed in quotes at this point, and you at least assume he's dead by this point, and he ends up taking the role anyway, even though he wasn't chosen to. That gives a lot of more depth to his character, is that he wasn't chosen for
because he's always second guessing himself. Can he actually be the leader since he wasn't essentially
he wasn't
chosen?
supposed to be there in the first place. He snuck on board. He wasn't supposed to be on a mission or nothing. He wasn't supposed to be the Red Ranger. There's all these things that he wasn't supposed to be, so he's trying extra hard to prove himself and be a leader. So I liked that aspect. But yeah, they basically end up, the evil guys try to get the Quasar Sabers from the Rangers, which is what gives them their power anyway. And then they kind of forget about the Sabers for a while and go for the Lights of Orion. And then, and then I don't even remember their motivations for anything later. The villains, to be honest, they just kind of want to fight them every now and then. And they keep on hiring people to fight them. Is what I see they end up doing. Like, oh, it's this guy. It was a guy who battled these thingies from this thing. Okay, let's send them after the Rangers. Okay. Okay. The actual.
I mean, I understand that you're just doing an overview, but damn, I was like, shit. I know you're looking at stuff, but it's like me, like I have some stuff pulled up, like they're the actors and the characters and everything.
I'm not looking at anything. I'm on the StreamYard homepage, like. That's
you're not on the homepage? That's it?
I'm just on the homepage. I'm not looking at any information. I'm just pulling from my ass.
Lost Galaxy is where I kind of stopped watching.
Same. After Lost Galaxy, I stopped watching.
Yeah, I was still young. I was still young enough to watch
for the rest of the 18 seasons or whatever.
Yeah. I was still young enough to watch for a few more years past Galaxy. But you guys take it away. On
Go ahead, DJ.
I have nothing to say because that's when I stopped.
Well, no, I mean, talk about you stopped before Galaxy or after Galaxy?
I think I watched like the first couple episodes of Galaxy and I wasn't into it.
Okay. So, all right, I'll have more to say here. So, Christy, though, you need to take the reins for a second.
Okay. So, like Lost Galaxy, it was Kai, Damon, Maya, Kendricks, and Mike, and then Astronomic or Corinne came later as a second Pink Ranger. Because how was Kendrix? How was she in the show? It's like she died, in quotes, like she died or something like that, but then she came back towards the end. But the actress had cancer. That's the reason why she left, and they brought in Corinne.
Yeah,
and
Corinne.
Corinne, whatever the fuck her name is.
But and correct yourself.
Well, I followed her on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
But wasn't in time for. See, they'll just correct us in the chat. But I honestly, the best I liked about this season was just the dynamic of Leo second guessing himself. Was he not powerful enough? And then Mike comes back. What was he called?
The Magna Defender.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
No,
I was
he didn't come back at first. Actually, this was a different warrior. That was the Magna Defender. That was like using his life essence or something to return because he was in that.
You know what I mean?
And, I know, but then he was gifted the power of the Magna Defender, and then could do that, all that. True.
Yeah, and then Corone. Is it Corone? Corinne.
4K.
Astronomer.
Yeah,
Good grief.
Call him that because everyone knows that.
The second Pink Ranger, she comes, and that was where in space she was like the evil villain. In the end, she came good again. This is what her redemption was right here, and that's what I liked seeing best: the dynamic, the brotherly relationship between Mike and Leo, and Astronomer, good character. Corinne. Is it Corinne?
Yeah, sure. It's not.
Corone.
Okay. Corone.
Corone.
I know it because they enunciate it so bad as the kid. He's like, Corone. It's like, shut up, kid. But
how it's but it looks like Corinne. No, it is. Oh hell, never mind. It's Corone. Never mind. Shit, there's not even an I in that name. Never mind.
But
There
no.
we go. Oh, I can't see it, Sonny.
But
where is it?
Granny Christie. But no, I agree with you. Well, that was the one element too that was different in Galaxy than was any other Power Ranger season. Was that they had death be the first thing to dispel. A Ranger never got killed before. This is the first time that they did that. And I actually, for people that haven't seen it, I want them to see it. So the context is this is in Lost Galaxy. This is like the first team up that we've ever seen in the American Power Rangers show, where they have the old team meet up with the new team. So there's like 10 or 12 Rangers here. And they just pretty much beat the Psycho Rangers that were brought back to fight, and they beat them, but one survived. The pink one survived, and she has this sword thing that is like growing in power and making her way stronger, and it's like under this vortex thing that's protecting it. But if you can destroy the sword, you destroy the power, and the only way they could do it is to get close enough to destroy it, and one of them makes a sacrifice.
Kendricks!
Over dramatic.
I've got to do it.
Just pausing for a sec for copyright thingies and all that.
Yeah, you make it.
I was like, can you have the audio going?
You'd be surprised how much they let you get away with Power Rangers. I played their music quite a bit in my
Always check
skit.
the description to see if there's a copyright before you play stuff.
No, that's a good idea. I never do that.
It's down at the bottom under their description.
And that's a good point. But I think if we do it in little chunks, then it's fine.
Get out of there! I've got to destroy it forever!
Kendricks! No!
I do find it kind of funny when they're telling, no, don't do it. It's pretty
Clark Kent for Smallville.
Yeah,
Why does Maya not have any other clothes? I mean, seriously.
all of them wear the same clothes every day. It's what they do. You know, it's the same set. They multiply it as soon as they are a part of the show.
It's like she was so like overly sexualized in a way, I think.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
maybe
she was-
Amazon.
Yeah, she's from the forest. Why would she be decked out in head to toe clothes? I mean, you know, she could have been more scantily clad, but she wasn't.
That's true.
It's true. I mean, I wish that Astronema was more scantily clad.
But look how they put a boob shot in there like it's baby.
I know, right? I mean, it's like
Mhm.
if you keep, the way he
Mhm.
And you have little 10-year-olds watching this.
the way he keeps pausing it, it's like an episode of Baywatch or the beginning.
Oops. It is funny because
It'll come out of nowhere.
it's like this is a dramatic moment, but it is funny how they're like, Cadrax, nah! It's just like okay, but it is a serious moment.
Oh yeah. Okay, that was terrible acting there.
That was oh, oh my god. Yeah,
Only
the
problem,
first-
the explosion should be like instantaneous, you know. That's
Yeah,
why-
Yeah.
yeah,
dramatic effect, okay?
yeah.
And swords explode. It's a, you know, like how they have random cars that flip over and they just explode. That's what I think when I see this. But no, I liked that. This is their first death scene. It's kind of weird how she went ghosty, like later, and then she comes back at the end. I kind
I
of
hated that
that's
hair.
weird.
I wish she didn't come back at the end of the season because I
I'm a
was
good 5 glasses still.
Yeah.
I have 20/20 vision, even though I'm dead.
you go to heaven with your clothes on, you know.
Yeah.
Your clothes.
And your glasses, apparently. I remember my
Well-
sister watching that, and she's like, "Why is she wearing her glasses if she's dead or dead?" I mean,
She's a ghost. She's not even dead. Apparently, I don't know. But anyway, so that was like supposed to be really dramatic. The first time you have them, you have a character die, and then the next episode, the Rangers aren't exactly in a nice mood. They're kind of pissed off because their saber gets
Again,
thrown
brilliant
out somewhere.
storyline. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's pretty good because the Quasar Saber gets thrown out into the whatever sectors of things, and they're trying to look for it, and people are screwing with them, and they're like ready to kill people to get it, and like that was interesting for Rangers to be kind of out of their element of normal niceness of hey, we're gonna beat you to like we're gonna fucking kill you if you don't get us a thing. Our friend just died.
It's crazy
You
it took
know.
that long
Yeah.
for like a Power Ranger to die, though.
Yeah, true, but it's also it's like
It's dramatic,
it shows the evolution of the show because they started as the teenagers and then these are like full grown adults and like they had somebody get killed, so it's like that was a good moment for the show. And the finale of this one was okay, but kind of silly too because they have Trakina turn into this bug monster. It's like just I don't know, like something out of a horror movie, but it's not even that scary. And I don't know. I guess what do you think of it, Christy?
I towards the as it went, I kind of got less interested as it went along.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it. I legit like low key watched this though, like where nobody could see me, like because I was just like by the time I was
You're embarrassed.
graduating high.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed as
You're like,
hell to watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already at a
doing the
high.
same thing.
Yeah.
What? Say it again, DJ.
I said I was like 12 doing the same thing. That would be the boy. Please, nobody find out.
No, and then
I have all the little action figures.
See, my friends watch stupid things like on MTV and VH1 that were retarded. So like I didn't care if they knew what I was.
I mean, I still watch that too, but but the Power Rangers, there's just something about Power Rangers like after like 12 or 13
Mhm.
that everybody starts essentially
Yeah.
when you're in middle school, you watch it, but you low key watch it. And then in high school, oh hell no, you better not
Yeah.
say that you watch
High
that
school,
shit at
science
all.
Yeah.
It's hard to be invested when you're a teenager and there's like women around and there's other
Yeah.
other people and there's other things to do, sports. You like actually have to kind of pass your homework and stuff. So it's like
It's funny now because now everyone watches Iron Man and it's all right, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
technically that's just as corny as Power Rangers ever was.
Yeah. A lot of things these days are as corny as Power Rangers, but not as creative.
Yeah.
But this is, like I said, with me and DJ said, this is the one where I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch anything after it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Jeff, you're on your own.
Okay. I was younger when that season was out too, so I was like still in the age group where it was okay to watch it. I stopped watching when I was in 6th grade, so yeah, that's middle school, basically as well, and stopped from there. So, meh. But
what season did you stop on?
So SPD was the last season that I fully watched, and it was like as I was watching, I was less interested. I liked things that were happening, but like I didn't really want to be watching it. I was like just doing it because I did that for years, and I was like, okay, I'm okay with what's happening, but I didn't feel like I'm not going to play with toys like I used to. I'm not going to go on the trampoline. I'm not going to talk with people about it. It's like, why would I watch this? It's like so kind of just there's not as much value to it because I can't talk to people about it. I can't play with anything, so I'm not interested in it. So
Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, it's not really what I want to do. I mean, I like seeing the story, progress and where it goes, but I didn't really care after that too much. So I was like, that's about where that ended. Yeah. But it's like it's fun looking back at it as an adult still, and like seeing what you can piece from it that's good to take.
For me, you grow an attachment to certain actors, and then when they're not on anymore, it kind of
that's too.
Upset about it.
And then when it was announced that Jason David Frank was coming back, I tried watching that, but I was just like, I can't watch this.
Couldn't handle the Dino Thunder.
No, I couldn't. I mean, I was just like,
it seemed like a ripoff. Using dinosaurs again.
Well, no. See, okay, so I guess we can. I'll tell a little bit about that. Since
go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I know so much about this again.
Galaxy anyway, so we can go over whatever now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just dominating this, and I'm sorry. I want to give you guys more time to speak too. But are you guys okay?
You're fine.
This stuff? Okay. Because with Dino Thunder, I agree. It's not like honestly, as far as it being entertaining, it's not that good. It's not that good. But like storytelling wise, it's actually really good. Because it's basically Tommy. It's like been 10 years since the original Mighty Morphin Rangers, and since that was done. And they pretty much explain that he and this girl end up meeting. She's more of a scientist type person that can build this stuff, and they kind of combine their knowledge. Like he knows whatever he knows about the morphing grid and whatnot. She uses what she can to bring that out, and they find these crystals that the Dino Gems basically that can multiply the power or something. And he and this other guy and Mesogog, I forget his actual human name, but he's like a human person. They're working together on these projects and discovering things about history, and he became a teacher and whatnot. They're both teachers, and basically with Mesogog, he becomes a dino hybrid thing. I forget why exactly he does, which is kind of ridiculous. It's very silly, but it's like the point is that Tommy, in a way, kind of creates the villain for that show, and basically, and all the power-ups that they have are stuff that he helped create. So it's like
it's like Billy, the nerd, right?
No, he's not the nerd doing it. The science lady that he has is the nerd doing it. But she wouldn't be able to do it without what he knew about Power Rangers, basically. So they shared their knowledge to be able to do it, and he would discover things archaeologically. In a way, he was like an Indiana Jones briefly, being a teacher that would go on these little adventures. That was the concept. And then, these kids get detention and get screwed with him. And he's not a boring teacher saying, I'll take you out with me while I go to this one place. And then they get wrapped up into this thing. They grab the gems that, they weren't supposed to. And it attaches to them kind of. And he's like, oh, shit. Well, I guess it chose you, He's like, I can't take the power away from you. So they end up becoming the Rangers. And he's like, telling them how it's kind of going to go. They have him do a lot of cool stuff in that show, but there's also a lot of things that, it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are kind of stupid. They have they tried to do another evil ranger thing, which I think was fine. They had another kid end up being like the evil white ranger.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But that was a little different. It was different in the way they did it, and his dad was also the bad guy. Like the son was the white ranger and all that, and so there was a thing there. But you'd think that Tommy would be so powerful with what he knows and how long he's been doing this, and just his skill and experience alone would be able to beat like that kid. Even if he's evil, but it doesn't. It's more between the white guy and the Red Ranger, and it's like that was kind of an iffy topic with it. I don't know. There's moments where Tommy is just seen as the legend. Like they always reference to him as he's the legend, kind of, and it's like yeah. But I mean, the fact that you're saying that's kind of lessening that because he doesn't do as many actions that do it. Like he's always so accepting of everyone, and it's like he never has a moment of doubt with people, which that kind of pisses me off. I wish that he would
even though like his character, was bad too, and he should have a lot of doubt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wish that he had more doubt with more characters, but he seems to always go, "Oh yeah, you're gonna do just fine. You're gonna do just fine, Rangers. You can do." It's like I wish that he'd be like, I don't know if you guys can actually do anything. I'd rather him have some doubt, but he doesn't, and it's just always so trusting, and that's an annoying flaw with his character, in my opinion. But so they do good things with him, and he's an awesome character. But it's like
I liked it because it showed more what ex-Power Rangers would become.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, I lose my powers, and now I'm just going to be an actor or work at Subway and not even care about nothing, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, and they showed him progressing and learning more about the morphing grid and everything. So that was good. I like that aspect too. But I feel like there just could have just been a few more things to make him more interesting as a character in the show. There's some weird stuff with the villains too, to be honest. But it's like, okay, one of the best things in Dino Thunder is that they acknowledge the previous Rangers for once as like a new season. They literally like get a history lesson. They have Tommy give the history lesson of the Rangers and all the stuff. And they're like, okay, wow. And they're like, why don't we have like 100 Rangers fight together? Like, well, because more than half of them lost all their powers. Like, so you can't. Mm-hmm. But then they screw up the continuity in like later seasons and have everybody come back all the time.
Yeah, explain to us how they brought everyone back.
Wait, they brought more people back?
They brought back like the Red Ranger.
Christy, have you never heard of the 20th anniversary?
Listen here, fool. I haven't even watched the 10th anniversary.
There wasn't one, really. I mean, the Dino Thunder was technically their 10th. It was their, going back to nostalgia kind of. But
wasn't there like a Forever Red episode 2 with a bunch of Red Rangers?
That was in Wild Force, where they had all the Rangers.
Yeah. I remember that trailer.
I watched that I've seen the Forever Red. I couldn't tell you who all was in it other than with the Jason, the other people who played like Rocky and stuff like that.
I think I just thought it was hokey,
Yeah, so they brought back more than 100 Rangers in a show or something?
Not necessarily, but so I'll comment on the Forever Red thing first, because that happened before the 20th. That was, they had all the Red Rangers because there was basically the Beetleborgs just ended, and they wanted to, they were doing, it was some type of anniversary, but it wasn't a Power Ranger anniversary. It was a, whatever genre you call this specifically, like with Beetleborgs, Masked Rider, Power Rangers, whatever you want to call that. There's some type of anniversary with them. So they had the Beetleborgs play as like King Mondo's generals that survived the destruction of evil and stuff. And they were trying to bring back that huge Zord. Remember Lord Zed's Zord that he had? Terra.
Oh, damn, I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember that at all.
If I see the picture, I probably will remember it.
Remember his Zord. Oh, I gotta show you the picture then, because Lord Zed had his own Zord. It was like a huge Zord that can destroy. It was basically a Death Star, but that got stranded on the moon because it like used too much power or something.
Oh,
so convenient. I mean, we'll just put it on the moon.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a Godzilla thing, too, straight out of it, similar to the Dragon Zord. Let's see. I forget what his name was. Serpentera.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So if they brought back Serpentera, it'd basically be able to destroy Earth. So they had to go there to stop it and whatnot. And so he gathered all the leaders of all the Rangers up to that point and tried to get them together, which which was fine. I was okay with them having like the Time Force ones because those were still active Rangers in a way, just in their own town, pretty much. Which that's fine. Other than that, pretty much no one else should have been brought back. They brought back the Alien Ranger too, and he wasn't even the leader of his team in the show. They had the White Ranger. The girl was the leader of their alien team, but they brought back the Red Ranger to be Red. And this. I don't know, like it was fine. It was a short little episode, but it's kind of stupid. But anyway, Christy, that pales in comparison to the 20th anniversary, where they have. Oh my god! So I never watched the whole show, but they had it as a special on Netflix. You can watch on Netflix, I think. And it's like called Mega Battle, or it's a Mega Force Battle or something. And they have these alien creatures that are like about to invade Earth, and they have this gigantic army, similar to the end of In Space, basically. But this time, the Rangers can't do it alone, and then they have like random Rangers, from the past, helping people in the rubble, like Damien and Leo from Galaxy, the Carter from Lightspeed,
but it's their present day form. It's not like the time travel, right?
Right. They're present day. They're older, and to show the kids that it's these same people. They would have like a flash of their helmet for a sec, like CGI helmet, to go, oh, that's the Red Ranger of that. Oh, that's that one.
Oh.
It's like cringy the way they did it, and it's like, and then they had, there's the final canyon battle where they're gonna fight the bad guys, and they're screwed because there's so many enemies, and then and then there's like a cliff. From every cliff, there's like every set of Ranger from all the seasons. And
why is Power Rangers still on Netflix? I thought that was Disney.
No, not entirely. There's some weird distribution deals with.
Oh, didn't Disney give up rights again or something?
Like it's back with like Saban and Touchstone and something. There's
Hasbro. I think
Hasbro, right? Hasbro. Yeah. It's Hasbro. It has the rights now.
That's why they're rebooting it, because Hasbro now controls it.
Yeah, but it's like they had Tommy.
More toys.
They had Tommy as the Green Ranger in this, and like all these, and it makes no sense because
his power's destroyed.
And then again, this is why Tommy, like, they approached the new team of Rangers that were fighting until season. And he's like, well, we can trust that you guys will defend the planet too, or something. And I'm like, no, why can't he be like, I don't know if you guys can handle this. Like,
when the Green Ranger's power is destroyed, was the Dragon Zord destroyed too? What happens to the Zords?
I don't think they show them being destroyed. I think they imply that the Dragon Sword's destroyed.
Oh, well, I guess makes sense.
Well, I mean,
they're saying forever. The chat is saying Forever Red was the 10th anniversary.
Oh, that might have been.
So what was the 20th anniversary?
Like 2003.
The one I just said. Well, no, because the Forever Red was during the season of Wild Force.
I can't believe that was that long ago.
My God.
So it could have been 2003 actually, because then 2006 is like when I went to middle school. Yeah, it could have been around then.
A better storyline. Why did they just get like how that fan film? You have someone cross dimensions and stuff, and like alternate universes, and that's how you pull out the Power Rangers from alternate universes. That would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. That would have. Well, it's like the Shattered Grid thing, they did with Lord Draken and stuff. That was an interesting little story as well, with the time thing and attacking all of them.
Have you watched that fan film, Christy?
Hell yeah!
I
downloaded that damn thing. I love that fan film.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about the Unworthy or the Shattered Grid or Shattered Past? There's actually quite a few.
Both are good.
Both are good, but honestly, the one I like the best is Power/Rangers. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that too.
I love that one.
I'm sure I heard of Power/Rangers. I don't think I saw
it's the one. It's the one where essentially. Is it
it's like a more modern take where they have guns and stuff, right? And they kill each other.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, the bad guys.
Are you talking about the bootleg universe one or something?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't just one episode though.
Was it Power? Was it?
See, if you're thinking of the bootleg universe one where they're like, smoking cocaine and like Jason gets his head blown off by Bulk and Skull.
No,
a different one. I'm commenting on this guy right here. He said, Tommy has a master morpher. You can turn into anyone. That was actually in a later one, though. By the time of the Megaforce one, like this was every single Ranger ever having the ability to morph, even though they lost their powers. But yeah, there was an episode like 5 seasons later where he had like a master morpher for a sec.
The film she'll talk about is Power / Rangers Unauthorized.
Yeah,
Jason Vanderbeek.
I just put the link in the chat
Yeah,
or
check
the
that
private
out.
chat.
That was really good, but there's no way they would ever do that because of kids.
Hell no! But that's
But it's so realistic, you know.
Oh, no,
Exactly.
That's the one I was talking about. That's the bootleg universe one. That's the one I was talking about. I actually thought that one wasn't that good, to be honest.
How dare you?
It was just
Some
to
parts
the
are bad, some parts are really good.
It was just to the extreme, and I was just like, I don't know. Like JDF even kind of commented on it, and he's like, you know, that's not. I mean, that's cool that they made it, but like, I don't know. That one.
Well, like you said,
But
if they made adults Power Rangers,
I would watch that.
Yeah.
You know.
I suppose.
And but when that came out, and then the movie, the movie, I was just like, oh, wait a minute. I mean,
Okay, let's
it
go to
makes
the.
you wonder if they. Go ahead.
How you could
Yeah,
say is just have a bunch of people steal the Power Rangers' powers.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Oh my
saying,
God. You know,
we didn't get to talk about the 2017 movie yet. You guys both saw that. That's something that you guys can comment on.
Yeah.
Especially.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But you guys give your thoughts because my
Horrible.
thoughts are long. My thoughts are too long. You guys give your thoughts on that film.
The trailer made it out to seem a lot better than it actually was. And watching the trailer and then watching the bootleg universe, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, I was like, did they actually like listen to the fans or something like that? But actually watching the movie, I didn't like Rita Repulsa at all. I mean, as I get her being the Green Ranger, and they were around when they were Rangers. They were Rangers when dinosaurs were around. I guess they're I was just
They
like,
were supposed
like
to
that
be
part.
alien rangers. Like Zordon and them were supposed to be alien rangers, essentially.
Yeah.
But, you know, and they had the Zeo crystals as their power coin things or something.
yeah.
And you
and
guys
I got Rita to be the former Green Power Ranger, and that's how she had the power coin in the first place to give the
Yeah.
time.
yeah, like that concept was fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But their execution was
And then
awful.
I'll go after you.
What was that?
I said, go on, Christy. You can talk
Yeah.
more about it.
Well, I mean that again, we're probably going to talk about this. Agree on a lot the same
All right.
points, though.
I'll go. I love the suits, you know, like Iron Man. I like the way they made Zordon. I didn't like the way they made Goldar at all. It didn't look nothing
Yeah.
like Goldar.
Oof.
I would still use a Japanese actor for Rita because
Yeah.
that's what. See,
Yeah.
it's not really a race thing, but when you bring back characters and you use their names, Jason, Tommy, Zach, why don't you make them almost the same personality, same race, same gender? You know that if you're going to go with a black Blue Ranger, why not use what was the second one? Adam, right?
Well, no, Rocky. Rocky became. Rocky became.
Rocky
Well,
was-
why not
yeah.
use
Rocky
those
became one.
instead of using the original character names and then changing all their personalities? Like Jason he had a lot of integrity. He was martial artist, and then in the movie, he's like a delinquent. You know, he's basically Tommy's character, and which made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like he's a kid that's
Damn, I didn't think
constantly in
about
trouble. It just didn't relate to the original character.
At all. If you were to say that's Jason, I'd be like, no. Like,
Yeah, that's not
No.
Jason.
not even close. Like in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't even think about that. He sure does is more Tommy than Jason, and
Mhm.
I didn't think about that.
Well, it's like even it's like barely Tommy.
Well, you get what I
Little
mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But barely still. I mean, did you like the joke about jacking off the bowl? They had that joke in the beginning.
I know.
I was like, wow, that's in this movie. Jesus. All right. I took my nephew to see it with me, and he was scared out of his mind during this
So was
film.
mine.
There's lots of imagery that is like not necessarily I don't know, like Rita's face, for
Yeah, see,
I don't know.
that's why I think it didn't do too well, because a lot of the old school fans, the ones that are like 25, 35, they couldn't relate to it because the characters were so much different than what they were perceived in the original first couple seasons.
And a lot of fans, I mean, and then the I guess you could say the backlash was, well, you're older now and stuff like that. No, that's
No,
not
like,
it. You could still have made it
Marvel, and
good.
Yeah.
I mean, was I expecting it to be different? Hell yes, I was. I mean, you don't.
when I seen Transformers and Pacific Rim, I was like, they can make a great franchise just doing Power Rangers just like that. You have so many seasons to make movies.
Yeah. I agree.
And
in fact, they'd be able to. It'd make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there like 7 Transformers movies and like not that many Power Rangers movies by now?
Are they doing another Power Rangers movie, or is it just
again?
They're trying.
But the thing is, how do you reboot it and then you just tell the same story of Goldar and Rita again, right? Because you can't go to Lord Zed.
You know they're gonna do Mighty Morphin again, and it's like that'd be fine if they could do it right. But now it's almost like the Spider-Man effect of or Batman, where it's like, yeah, we get it now. Can you do something different?
What they should do is do the Zordon Rita origin film before they jump into that again. But
yeah, that'd be a good start. Yeah, but then if they don't, but if it's a Power Ranger film and there's no morphine, people, they're worried that people won't like that, and then they can't sell as many toys either. With the new designs, they're able to do them, I guess, which they only had them. I think they had less Power Ranger time in this film than they did in the Turbo one, like as Power Rangers.
Mhm.
They're morphed less in this Power Ranger film than in the Turbo one. They at least had.
I did like how it went all over their body and formed instead of just having spandex costumes.
That was cool as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, with me, it's like the way that they get it though is like.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
We have to like believe together in like each other or something to activate the power, and like he kind of did it once by standing up for him. I don't know. That was really lame.
They did in the original season, have Zordon pick him.
Yeah.
Give me 5 emotional, overbearing humans. Not teenagers. Oh no.
And then I took
talks them and watches them until he finds the good picks.
Well,
You're Jason going in the shower.
Because you say you took your nephew. I took my niece and I took my younger cousin.
Yeah.
And there's somebody in the audience who's like, that's bullshit. That they wouldn't do that. That's bullshit. What in the world? And just started mumbling to himself and stuff like that. And he's like, finally, what threw me over the edge? This guy, he's like, oh, hell nah. And just got up and left. And you see his kids just like,
bye, Dad. I guess I'll drive.
But yeah.
But
and Tommy's the most well-known Power Ranger, and you didn't really market him in the first movie at all, even like at the end. Yeah, like a little teaser, but that was about it.
But then they brought back Amy. Was it Amy and Jason as in cameos towards the very end where they're
cell phone cameo for a minute?
Exactly.
God, you might as well not have had them in the fucking thing. That's insulting that you got them on set and they're like, "Hey guys, you look at the Power Ranger movie. Just stand over there and just like, what? Like I thought they were gonna have him be the teacher or something, even if he wasn't going to be the ranger or something in this. Like that would have been interesting if he was still like if he's a teacher, then he could technically still be a mentor type of figure of some kind or something. Maybe he defines out their Power Rangers and it's something.
If you had Jason as like doing karate and stuff, then you could have had the real Jason from the original season be like the teacher, Yeah,
that would have the original cast be teachers in the school.
Like, they totally figured out the whole karate aspect of them knowing how to fight and everything.
Yeah, it was like, that's a good concept.
Exactly. Like have them, like you said, as like a karate teacher, or Kimberly, like because she did like gymnastics, like teachers,
exactly.
or just have them like
teacher.
in the background or something like that. As a nod, if that's the only thing, as when I'm watching that, I was like, oh my God, there's Billy, or there's Kimberly or something like that. I would have loved to have seen
If
that.
they explained that the powers gave them like knowledge of karate and kung fu and stuff, that would make sense. But they didn't do that.
I still actually hate that though. It's like that's one thing with Power Rangers that kind of annoyed me later too, is that it's like you have no knowledge of fighting, but now you have the power, so now you kind of do, and it's like
the first season, with Jason and Tommy, they were martial artists, so that made a lot of sense. But then after that,
yeah, well, for most seasons, yeah, they don't really make sense as to why anybody knows how to fight. I mean, in some seasons, they make it okay enough to where they could kind of, and then they show them train here and there, so it kind of makes sense to see it. But yeah, with this, it was like, no, now they have superpowers, but even when they're not morphed.
The way to handle that, just like coin, gives them knowledge,
I guess. I mean, I thought this would have been more interesting to have the old cast as a part of the cast here too, but not as Rangers. Where let's see, the kids they got this new powers and stuff, and it's like
David Frank Lord Zed. That's what you should do.
It's like that'd be kind of cool if like the teachers, these teachers, like saw them use it, so they saw their identities as the Rangers, and it's like, oh shit. And it's like, or maybe not. Maybe the kids still learn from these teachers though as good mentors, and they don't even know they're Rangers. That'd be kind of cool interactions to see.
He didn't really have comedic relief with no Bulk and Skull character,
Yeah, the Bulk and Skull in general were more of worry that kids would be bored with no action, so have it be funny in the show. So they didn't really need to have that either. The kid's like, I'm going to break your wrist. Shut up. What? I don't know. It's funny.
But they weren't Bulk and Skull though.
Well, I know. I'm
Damn
saying
it! If
the bully kids.
If you have Billy, if you have what was the Yellow's Ranger's name actually Trini in this?
Yes.
Yes, it's also Trini, even though she wasn't Asian, but
exactly. That's why I didn't like it.
I mean, the girl who played this chick was
a different character, just banking on the name of the original. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trini, what's the actress who died? Is it Twee? Twang.
I forget how to pronounce her name.
Yeah,
I forget. That's like this. That's the sacred one to me and stuff like that. Is like you don't fuck up with the Yellow Ranger.
Had Aisha or something.
Exactly.
And that would have been a diversity point, right?
If you want to go diversity, just use Rocky and Aisha and Adam.
Well, God, it's stupid to even try to mention diversity points with Power Rangers, because that's all they've been since its conception, was a mixed team anyway, like of gender and race all the time.
Like I said, you're promoting this to people that are 20, 30, 35 years old. Why not stay true to the source material?
Yeah. I agree.
What? Stay true to the source material? What, DJ? What?
Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore.
See, it's like even Time Force, even though Time Force has time travel, they don't time travel all the time. It makes enough sense with what they say. The characters in it are enough to hook you into what's going on. Jen is like one of the best like female Rangers in the whole series at all. Like, she destroys Kimberly and character building and motivation and stuff. She starts out basically as she's basically the leader of the team, but she's the Pink Ranger, not Red. And she's her husband. She's about to marry the Red Ranger, but he gets killed in the first episode, and they have to go chase the bad guy and go back in time. And then she finds his ancestor, basically looks just like him, and sees him from the present. And she there's villains that they fight that had history with her. And, she wants to kill one of them, and everyone else is like, what the fuck, don't do that. You can't do that. And it's like, she has just the best motivation, and she gets her ass kicked a lot too, even though she's hardcore and badass. She loses and has to rely on people. So she's a good female character that they use.
So how would you
never watched it,
Rookie, if you could do that?
What?
I said, how would you change a 2017 movie if you could do that? Do you think it was too realistic or too cheesy?
I think they went too realistic. And I guess by realistic, I mean as far as how they make movies these days. Like
dark, kind of.
Well, I'd say dark in the sense of like stupid. Because they had like the stupid jokes, just like sexual jokes, which would be fine. But it's like I don't think they ever had those in Power Rangers. They never needed them. It wasn't part of anything, never needed to be part of it really. So that's It's not edgy. You don't need to be edgy with Power Rangers. I do think that to make a good movie for people to attach to, it can't be as corny. It has to have a little more drama, a little more emotion.
Campy, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why like I think they could have had it where it's similar to how they presented it, just executed differently would have been better. Like with Rita, like they need to start with like Zordon and Rita and them or something if you're gonna have us care about him losing his team, because I don't give a shit. Like it's just like
I didn't give a shit.
I guess you lost your team and you don't trust them.
I would like the whole movie, but like you said, it'll be hard to market that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have started with Mighty Morphin, to be honest. I mean, that's what everyone is familiar with. They already made a movie about it before. They had the Turbo one. I would have said you pick a different season to start with. And if anything, you could have it be where other Rangers have existed in this continuity, but you didn't see them yet, and you could still have type of crossovers if you want to, or they could have done this.
Yeah, I think they're using. Well, the rumor is that they're going to use time travel to go back to the 90s.
I mean, I don't mind time travel being in it, but to go back to the 90s and probably do the Mighty, that is,
yeah.
Like I said, Time Force is a good one you could do because the characters in it are awesome and the story is good. The villain in that, he's actually got a tragic history to his thing too. In the future, in the year 3000, that's like where it starts from. Most people are pretty much perfect genetically, as far as like they don't get sick, they don't have diseases, cancer or anything, no deformities on their faces, but something happens and gets mixed up in test tubes and the mutants start showing up, and this dude's like a deformed human kind of, and he gets rejected by everyone, and just because the way he looks and stuff, and it's discrimination-ish type of thing, you could say. But he's like, I'm screw this, I'm gonna go. He ends up not being able to beat the guys in the present or in the future. So he's like, I'm going to go back to the past and make sure y'all don't exist. I don't care. I'm going to rule that. And he goes, and but before he goes, he kills the Red Ranger. Is able to kill him, pretty much just destroy him anyway, whatever. And then you go back to the past, and he's the way that he there's before he left the future, there's this other guy who was a human that was helping him, but he's like super obsessed with robots. He basically kills this guy. But almost kills him, and he forms himself into like a robot cybernetic body, and he doesn't Rancic doesn't realize that he's that same guy, and like it's this huge dynamic between humans, mutants, and robots throughout the show. It kind of starts developing. There's one of the Rangers that wants to kill one of the monsters just because but this monster isn't a criminal, just mistaken as a criminal because he's a mutant and he didn't really do anything wrong. And one of the Rangers kind of sees that, and they're trying to sympathize with them. And they try to tackle those themes, and one of like Jen, the Pink Ranger, was going to kill one of them too for revenge, and they usually just capture them because they're police officers essentially, and she was going to kill them, and it's like this is a kids show with this stuff. This can be relatable to a movie. I feel that'd be more adaptable. And the Red Ranger Wes in the show here, I'll show a few clips for those who haven't seen it. And if you guys haven't seen Time Force either, you can kind of get a gist-ish. Still corny, mind you. Still very corny. But, this is a flashback in the middle of a thingy.
Forever.
Yeah,
And ever.
he did.
Oh,
No! I won't let his death be in vain!
Does she have a heart on her chest?
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, it's kind of corny.
Of course it is. It's supposed to be corny, but yeah.
What's gotten into Jen?
She's like bloodthirsty for this bitch now, and she's like, I'm not gonna let his death be in vain, and fucking go ham on him.
Jen, stop! Do it!
Go with me! He
Damn.
deserves this.
Jen, stop!
Let go!
Oh, Herbie!
Yeah, she's like going ham on this fucker, and I don't know. That was a good moment for that character, especially. And then
These big evil aliens, but we can't kill them.
yeah, I know it's
Talk about.
they have a weird economy. But then this was the Red Ranger that gets killed. Like,
Oh, I remember him. He's like Kano from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I kinda like him.
His weapons that come out of his body.
More than that, slow me down.
What's his name? Like Rancid or something like that?
Rancic.
Yeah, Rancid.
Come on, guys.
He's one of the best villains, I'd say.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just really fucking cool. I'm
I
positive.
think I did watch this season. I just don't remember much of it.
I think I stumbled upon it because I remember her. Does that Red Ranger died? Does he come back or does he stay dead?
With time travel rules, he comes back in a weird way. It kind of like resets ish with some things to make him come back, which was kind of dumb. But still, as far as the beginning of the show is concerned, he was dead. And they acknowledge it as he's dead. He's destroyed. So there's a lot of emotion that they portray. Yanks it out of his back. A bone.
Yeah, he's badass.
He's cool.
May be me, but you'll never escape the Time Force.
Where I'm going, there is no time force.
Pausing again. The music. There's a lot of music in this. I thought.
Here come the Avengers. Well,
Yeah. Pretty much.
No.
And they start the season with their Red Ranger being destroyed. And goodbye.
That was dope, but yeah, it's dark for kids.
It's forgettable, but is that if that was like their start as the Red Ranger being killed? I mean, damn, that's pretty. I like that.
I definitely seen that episode.
And then by the end of the season, so Wes is like he's basically the ancestor of that Ranger that got killed. So like going back in time, and he
yeah.
So like Wes, it kind of grew up as a rich kid, and he has a rival called Eric who grew up poor and stuff, but kind of competed in the same level. And throughout this whole show, they were going back and forth with each other. Eric ended up stealing one of the morphers that they were looking for, and he took control for it. Like he was fighting for it with the enemies and with them. And like this is the first time where they have humans actually trying to fight the monsters instead of just relying on the Rangers. They're like, let's hire a private force to try to fight the bad guys, So they try to, and then he ends up taking it and being the leader. And these guys are at each other's throats the whole series. But then this is like the final battle, and it's a pretty good scene for drama.
Code Red. Do you read?
How you holding out?
I'm fine. You should get back to your friends.
Nah, they're gone. Back to the Earth 3000. From now on, it's just you and me.
Yeah, they basically sent the other Rangers back to the future because there's some like weird time thingies, and now they're pretty much stuck and they're on their own. And there's like a humongous army of robots that they fight themselves, and their Zords are pretty much destroyed. So they're pretty much fucked, and they just have
That's kind of like the fan film where the Power Rangers get stuck in a different dimension.
pretty similar, but a little different.
Which fan film is that one?
Almost all the fan films have time travel and dimensions. I'd say there's Unworthy, there's Shattered.
It might be Unworthy.
Well, they weren't stuck in another dimension. There's Shattered Past, where there's some time travel where the Omega Ranger has to go back in time and do some stuff.
Okay,
I think so.
Well, I told you.
I'm going to be watching
I work
these.
alone.
I'll see if I can find what I'm talking about.
What is it with you? For years I've tried to be your friend, but you don't want anything to do with me.
My friend. You don't even know the first thing about me, Wes. I had nothing. I was dirt poor. And I have struggled for as long as I can remember to pull my life out of the gutter.
Yeah, they try to go dramatic here. I wish they wouldn't play as much.
It's just
I wish they wouldn't play the music as much because I'm like, this is good enough without the music.
That's good, but
Good acting. Like for Power Ranger acting, this is pretty good, right? Like,
I got shot in the heart, but I'm going to give you this nice big paragraph.
Exactly.
Not even for 1 minute. Unlike you, who's had everything handed to him on a silver platter. You and I have nothing in common.
No,
Screw you, bastard.
we may have grown up different, but we have a lot in common. We both fought to change our destinies, and we both succeeded. Look at this. We are Power Rangers, Eric. And friends or not, we're the only hope this city has right now. Let's do it.
Boom.
I always hated the morphers, you know, like you can just like forget it at home, and then what are you gonna do?
True.
Oh, it's stuck in my locker, and I don't remember the combination. Sorry, guys, can't help you.
You can use the power of friendship to beat the enemy. For sure. The guy played Rancic was brilliant in Mel Gibson Mad Max 2 film because Time Force episode Movie Madness. And I'd be yeah, there's an episode called Movie Madness where they did a bunch of riffs from different movies, and the climax was like a Mad Max style thing where Rancic's chasing the Rangers in a car, whatever, on a dirt road, which was all right. It's pretty funny. In the original Super Sentai series, the Quantum Ranger dies. Oh, wow. That would be cool. Eric was the guy that was like, I was poor and all this. That's the Quantum Ranger. It's pretty cool. But yeah, and he said the SPD Blue Ranger son was West. Yeah, there's some gold with SPD. They have the Blue Ranger, and that one, it's like 20 years in the future. It's like technically where it is right now, and like really, I think it's like 2020-ish, 2026 or something. Like his dad was West, a Red Time Force Ranger, and a villain ended up killing the Red Ranger, and it's pretty good.
Oh, dude.
I'm not sharing the screen. Oops.
The video I was talking about is from Comic Storian. He is the Power Rangers Black Dragon Origin Evil Tommy Shattered Grid.
Oh yeah, that's a Shattered Grid comic series.
Yeah, that's really good.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was a good storyline. I love that.
Collection. I collect memories. Sad memories.
What?
In exchange for the information I gave you, you must tell me your worst memory.
No.
Yeah, and this dude's kind of a prick, but his dad's like the Red Time Force Ranger and like helped make this stuff for the future, so it's a different timeline kind of, but it's still pretty good. And that villain killed his dad, basically.
Forget it.
We had a deal, Ranger.
My dad was a Power Ranger too. He was the Red Ranger. He was a great father, but he made a vow to protect the innocent. When people were in danger, he was always ready to fight.
They couldn't get the actor that played Wes at the time to do
One
that.
day he got the call. They say he saved dozens of people and fought until the bitter end. It was his last.
Yeah, your kid's dead, or your dad's dead later. So like they do some dramatic stuff with considering Power Rangers later on, compared to Mighty Morphin. I mean, when people say Mighty Morphin's the best, I'm like, it's the first, but you know, and it set a good line. It had a lot of good moments, but it's like, other seasons that do like entertainment, drama, emotion, character development arcs way better.
Story-wise, absolutely. But I'm sorry, I'm always going to go back to the first Mighty Morphin, though. That's the one that started the
storyline and everything else. It's not that good.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd say that with the bulk episodes of Mighty Morphin, there's probably more bad episodes of Mighty Morphin.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, again, Goldar is one of my favorite things of Mighty Morphin. You know, this guy who like, he's like, no one can defeat me. I am all evil. Ha, Tommy, let's do this once again and have a fight.
Well, I don't think they made him like that because they'll say, "Oh, it's racist. He's a gorilla or something." Flying monkey. That's probably why they changed him so much, even though his design was badass.
Yeah. No, honestly, I wish they just got the same type of thing.
I wish he'd look the same.
They shouldn't have had a character called Goldar in the 2017 movie if they weren't going to make him look like that. Like, they at this point, they might as well have just taken elements from different seasons and shoved them into one. Like, have Ecliptor, have a different villain from a different one, have these different. Might as well have done that if you're going to do this. I mean, I don't even know. I don't think there's a way they can make a perfect Power Ranger movie at all, like the one that everybody would like.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they missed their window, and you're just going to be repeating 2017 all over again, right?
Pretty much. I feel like
Yeah,
when that window was the time that they should have, if they could have snapped it shut and nailed something, but now that they didn't, and we have that
Do
as
you
a
feel like they should just continue with 2017?
I mean, I don't think they should make
Green Ranger.
I don't think they should make Power Ranger movies.
Really?
Based on, I don't think they have to show that they can do something interesting.
Yeah. I want it, but it has to be good.
The fact that they just want to keep going back to the 90s shows me they don't know what they're doing. They just think that they want to.
Do you think it should be like all new storylines?
Yep, I agree. Well, one of the things I thought was
Lord Draken. I would love that.
Yeah, Lord Draken would be one.
Yeah.
I had an idea where they could, if they could take the continuity of the show in some way, like in some way of the show, and like, you know, have it be, if they did it in a movie form, they could take the premise of everything they've learned about this Power Ranger universe or something and see what they can do with it. What haven't they done? Can they make something else that can be long lasting, that can be interesting? Like, what if they had a thing where they have humans trying to make their own morphine powers or something, and or people are starting to not like the Power Rangers because ever since Power Rangers have been around on the planet and they keep on multiplying, so is all the threats to humanity. Like, throughout all this time,
rebuilding of the freaking towns.
Yeah, it's like, what if people were starting to individually, try to make things to combat against the Rangers?
Mm-hmm.
Like make their own technology or make their own deals with monsters or something, to combat against the Rangers, not to rule the planet, but to do their own things or something like that. Or,
make their own, like Captain America to take on the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
where it's like there's not an evil threat trying to destroy everything this time. It's like just people trying to do their own thing, and the Rangers, instead of fighting this one evil thing to end, it's like these are just, now you're dealing with humans and like other monsters. But there's not one ultimate bad guy to beat. These are just everyday things you have to somehow beat, and they have their own powers, their own unique sets. There's no set way on how they fight or who's going to be your enemy, when or where. That'd be an interesting way, I think, to go.
You could do a movie like that, or like Shattered Grid right off the bat, and then eventually, if it becomes like a great franchise, you can even go back to the previous first seasons and whatever, and implement time travel.
If it were to become a great franchise.
Yeah.
Which
so it's not like if you skip over, you just never do a movie on it,
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that they can make a movie that people that are old fans that'll like it, that are newer kids that'll like it. People that aren't interested to get interested, I don't think they can.
Like I said, Green with Evil is my favorite storyline. I wish they would have had a part 2 for that, but I think it's kind of like too late now because they already botched it and rebooting already.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in a way that's how they could have started this one, was have it be, you have an established Ranger team already. You don't need to show how they got it. Honestly, that's in a way, that's the more boring part. I mean, it's an interesting part, but it's like, as far as a film goes, that's the amount of time you have to work with. Then do you want to have it where they take half the movie to get their powers, to have a fight and that's it? Or do you want to have them start at the gate, already doing something, and then, something happens? I feel like that would be an interesting way to start a Power Ranger movie that's already in the middle of it. And, there's no preseason to go from. You start off in the middle of something and have the drama develop from there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Like same with the Green with Evil,
Yeah.
I suppose. Like I said, I just don't think they can really make an interesting movie, because a movie is, 2 hours long-ish usually. And I just don't think they can make something interesting enough in that amount of time. They've struggled 3 times.
The origin and then try and get you to know the characters. There's a lot to fill in there.
Yeah, which they did a good job trying to develop character in 2017. But it's like, this almost shouldn't have been called Power Rangers, because it hardly had anything to do with it, in my opinion. Especially the Zord designs were shit awful, especially when they formed into the Pacific Rim one. Like, what, did they just like get rid of their creativity board? Like, let's just throw that away and just copy Pacific Rim but make it worse and uglier.
But see, with the '97 movie, they just jumped right into it because they had the foundation already set.
Yeah, well, which I think they could do something like that. But I mean, but that was with the current show.
Yeah.
And it was new. Now there's a million seasons and million seasons, and nobody knows what's going on, and they use different technology, and there's a different look and feel to Power Rangers, which to me, it's kind of I don't really like the look and feel. It's like, no, I don't know, something about it, the way they film it. That's good. But yeah, I think I'm running dry.
Yeah.
To say here.
I was gonna say, I was like, I gotta be working about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
Dream sometime.
Yeah, we could start wrapping it up now. This was an awesome conversation, guys. Yeah, I revealed my nerdiness of Power Rangers and stuff, which, believe it or not, I'm also good on science and math and stuff too. So, and basketball and other stuff. So, I'm not a total nerd.
no, damn sports ball.
Sports ball, it's pretty good. Yeah, soccer.
All right, next one's gonna be a basketball stream.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! You watching basketball, DJ?
Yeah, I watched the playoffs and All-Star game in Lakers. So.
Oh yeah. I haven't like paid attention to the season in a while because I don't have cable anymore. But I'll look up. I do try to catch like
the highlights.
I'll go to a restaurant when the playoffs are going or something and try to catch some of that stuff. Pretty good. Chrissy's like, fuck, you're talking about. So you don't like it when we talk about Star Wars? Don't like it when we talk about basketball? Don't like it when we talk? Just kidding.
Well, what does Chris?
I mean, I just like talking with people. But after certain like sports and stuff like that, I like Star Wars. I'm just like, oh my god.
I was just pulling your leg. But thank you everybody in the chat for joining us and sticking around. Sam was pretty much with us since the very start of the stream. Same with Angelus Draven. Appreciate you coming by, and Fenrir Fire as well. That's awesome. Thank you guys for coming by. Do you guys have any last things you want to touch on the Power Rangers or anything? Wrap up.
I'm going to try and attempt to watch the later seasons on Netflix. I will probably not succeed, but I will give it a try.
I'd say start, if you haven't seen Time Force, start with that. That's probably the only one that will be bearable enough, even though it's still ridiculous. The others are all really cringy.
Okay. All right.
I mean, like there's mixes like in Wild Force. There's Naku. He's a cool character, but the whole show is ridiculous as well. And the Red Ranger's parents get killed in the beginning, so there's some stuff there too. But it's like ultimately it's silly and cringe silly. Like Guardians of the Earth, unite, we roar. It's like, oh god. Yeah. Their finale was cool, but no. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much wraps this up, guys. Again, thank y'all for coming by. Subscribe to DJ Scandalous on YouTube and follow him on Twitter. Subscribe to Christy Miller as well. She wants to get monetized soon, so definitely check her out.
No, honestly, okay, so here's the thing with that. I started doing this for fun. I still do this for fun, but I've gotten comments from some people that I still talk to that just really piss me off. So I'm just like, well, you mother.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I won't curse that much.
Well, see, being monetized will help your videos better and the algorithm and everything. So
I don't care about that.
Conversation
I do like my videos. Like I do the videos of like a minute and a half, and I'm just like, I don't have my phone with me. I'm just like, so what's this bullshit going on right now with this movie and stuff like that?
See, imagine making money for that.
Yeah, that's true. But I love people that have the time to do like a 10, 15, 20, 30-minute video. I don't have time for that.
I had time for a 2.5 hour live stream about Power Rangers.
But it's a live stream, though. It's not. I mean, we're just going off the fly and stuff like that.
Yeah, but your parents are geeks and gamers that they can do like 4 videos within like 30 minutes, and then
and people making videos though, so that's a little different.
Exactly. I'm just like I know that people have like teams or other people help out and stuff like that. I'm just like. This don't pay my bills. I gotta go to work. I mean, this is all fine and dandy, but I mean,
even if you made like you'd have to make like $300 to be able to even cash out your first paycheck on YouTube, because they take like 50% practically, or like 30 to 50, and you need to have a minimum of $100 to be able to take out in your first run. So after all that, you'd have to have quite a bit.
Yeah, YouTube screws us in that regard.
Indeed, I made quite a bit on my monetization stream, but I was like, man, the amount that I don't get to take home is like,
Yeah, imagine double.
exactly. It's like, God, they just really. I mean, I can understand they take a little percentage, but Jesus. But yeah, so I'll just end it here. Otherwise, I can drag this out forever. I'm a huge talker. So I'm gonna drag it out. Thank you guys for coming by.
No, not at all.
I'm just gonna
We talk a lot.
gonna end it off the way that we should.
Power Rangers are Ness.